in the original Star Wars, when Obi-Wan is hiring Han and Chewie in the cantina, how many credits does he offer to pay them? 215-263 WMMR. We will go to Jeff for the answer. Hey, Jeff. All right, Jeff, how many credits does Obi-Wan hire Han and Chewie with?
Yeah, 17,000.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. He says, we will pay you $2,000 now plus 15 when we reach Alderaan.
I have 10 Wendy's gift certificates.
He was using them as currency.
Right, yeah.
I had no idea.
You could use these at any Wendy's in the galaxy.
All right, that is correct. So hang on the line. We're going to set you up, buddy. You got a $150 Fogo Show gift card. Fogo is a culinary experience and the best place to discover new favorites like their new bone-in ribeye and bone-in double-cut pork chops. As part of the full churrasco experience, you can make a reservation for Center City or King of Prussia at fogo.com. All right, one of the things we did not get to do because we were live at Keenan's on Friday was to talk to our coolest teacher, and we want to make sure that we absolutely have a chance to give each and every person that is chosen
their shot,
an opportunity to hop on and say a thing or two. So it was from Upper Dublin High School, Mr. Michael, and we have gotten the proper pronunciation, Blygen. Blygen. Please welcome Mr. Blygen to the show this morning. Mr. Blygen, how are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you guys
Good.
doing?
All right, let me see how bad I butchered your name. First of all, Michael is spelled M-Y-C-H-A-E-L. Is that Michael or is it Michael or?
So it's just Michael. It was a player for the Lakers, Michael Thompson, and so it's named after him.
All right. I got that right. But Blygen, how many different pronunciations on a regular basis do you get when people read your name out loud?
Oh, man. There's Bliggin. There's Blygen. There's tons. I try to tell them it's just Mary J. Blige with an N on the end.
I like that. It's an easy way to do it.
That is it. Michael, do you teach history?
I do, yes. I do history.
Okay. And how long have you been at Upper Dublin?
I've been at Upper Dublin for the last 7 years.
Nice.
And already the most popular teacher.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's the rumor.
How long have you been in the teaching field, Michael?
I've been doing this for about 15 years. I started out in Philly, and then I switched to Upper Dublin in about 2015.
Nice. What are you guys covering in history towards the end of the semester now?
So it's interesting. So one class, my Rise of Modern America, which is my 9th grade, we do everything from the 1920s to the 1940s.
Oh,
so
cool.
kind of the lead up to World War II. We do a little bit of Great Depression, a little bit of New Deal, and we just try to get the kids to understand how those things affect modern day society.
It was a Great Depression, wasn't it?
What a Great Depression. Was that the here's how very little I remember from history. Was that the Gilded Age, or did that come right before the?
You know what? You're close. The Gilded Age does impact it. It's about a 20-year difference, but in history terms, that's a short time.
Yeah,
all right.
That's your yes. Good call.
I retained that from 8th grade.
Yes,
believe it or not. So some of that stuff does stick, Michael. How do you what as far as doing your job? And clearly the students hold you in high regard or they wouldn't have voted for you. But, I mean, you're teaching history, and this is a question I love asking the teachers. How do you get the kids to engage in this?
You make it relatable to them. You know, the story of history is great. And so for me as a historian, I love it, but the kids are not. So you make sure it relates to their personal life. And then you make sure that they're building a skill on it while they're doing it so that they're learning how to create an argument or they're creating some type of presentation or they're creating some type of product that they can then show off. So the skill is not just learning the history, but it's also skills that they can use outside of their normal life.
And Michael, it has to help for them to know that you can always fail them, correct? Is that part of it?
You try not to use that, but you give them the eye.
Yeah, I guess that would be a bad way to motivate. That's why you're the most popular teacher and I'm not.
Hey, how was this year? You know, over trying to get back to normal post COVID. I mean, we're flirting with COVID, but how were things this year?
I'm not gonna lie, it's difficult. You know, especially for guys I work with and girls I work with. It's been tough, and for the kids too. It's a transition back from a type of freedom that they never had to now in school every day on the 8 to 3 basis. But we're making it through. Everything's improving, and it's getting back to that normal of, social interacting and feeling comfortable within the school setting. So it's getting better.
And Michael, you guys started off the school year with that tornado hitting the school and causing some serious damage. So I'm sure on some levels you guys are you're ready to end this particular school year, aren't you?
Absolutely, but you know, the one thing I always say is you take the lessons that you learn from those tough times and you apply them to the good times, and you make sure that you're prepared and you're stronger than you've ever been.
It's like the Great Depression. Depression's bad, but they made it great. Yeah,
there you go.
I like the connection. Look at you.
Made it great. Well, Michael, it's just a little token. It's from the students. We're going to give you the coolest teacher of the year coffee mug and T-shirt as a keepsake, and we want you to keep doing great work and have the best summer you can. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Can I just say two things real quick?
Sure.
To my Albert Dublin staff, love you guys. To Casey, Stu says he still hates you, whatever that means. And then a shout out to my man Brian Capps, because he wanted me to say, because we were playing basketball this morning. He was like, make sure you tell him Brian said hey.
Okay.
All right.
And students, I love you guys.
That's
Thank
great.
you so much.
Mission accomplished. Thank you, Mr. Obliging, guys. Michael Obliging. Take care, man. We'll see you. And who still hates Casey? Stu still hates Casey. Yeah. Okay.
Here's a funny little connection we might have missed as well. That we played the Joe Namath clip.
Yeah.
In that report, Joe Namath was speaking with Susie Colbert. Susie Colbert graduated from Upper Dublin High School.
Shut up.
Yeah. Isn't that bizarre?
Oh,
and
my
this
God.
year, Joe Namath gave their commencement.
That is funny. Wow. Okay. Well, anyhow, up next is Springfield High School in Montco. You guys get to vote. All right. Text word teacher to 39333, and hopefully we'll be talking to somebody tomorrow morning and find out who that teacher is. What am I missing? That was Mr. Obliging was from last week, right?
Yes. Right.
Okay. And then we were going to talk to somebody else today, too?
No, I
Okay.
had the numbers mixed off. We are so good to go.
All right, good to go. Excellent. All right.
Back to entertainment.
Yes, let's get to the entertainment news. We're going to start with this. Johnny Depp seemed to get out of Fairfax, Virginia in the second that he could. He performed a surprise UK concert just days after his and Amber Heard's legal teams delivered their closing arguments. Actually, he did it twice. I think he performed again last night, but on Sunday, he appeared on stage at a gig in Sheffield, England, where he joined Jeff Beck on his UK tour.
Isn't Beck like one of his best buds?
I don't know.
I think that's the story, yeah.
Maybe so. The duo played several covers throughout the night, most notably jamming on Marvin Gaye's What's Going On and John Lennon's Isolation. Johnny seemed particularly pumped up while singing Isolation, which he and Beck had released their own version of in 2020.
Isolation?
What's
That's
that?
what Depp called it. Isolation.
Isolation. Depp's performance with Beck comes a day after another English legend may have signaled support for the Pirates of the Caribbean actor. During a Saturday night performance in Orlando, Paul McCartney had aired a clip from the 2012 music video for My Valentine, which features Depp and Natalie Portman. While Paul did not address the trial directly, many took the visual as a symbol of his support for the actor. Friday had marked the last day of Depp and Heard's trial, and jurors are now responsible for deciding whether Heard did defame her former spouse in a 2018 op-ed she wrote for the Washington Post.
Be curious to see how this plays out. It's all centered around that op-ed. That's the flashpoint of all this stuff. That's what got his underwear twisted up.
So jury's getting to work on that, and hopefully we'll have some information soon. Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson are now twinning as they both recently dyed their hair platinum blonde.
God, I can't get enough of them.
She posted videos of the couple with their matching hairstyles to Instagram stories on Sunday night, showing them sharing a smooch as well.
Kathy, would you ever shave your head to be just like Dennis?
No.
And by the way, whose idea do you think this was?
Oh, that was clearly Kim Kardashian.
Of course, absolutely.
Did you dye your hair blonde?
Kim.
Yeah, sure.
Recently went blonde in honor of Marilyn Monroe, whose dress she wore to the Met Gala. Davidson followed suit shortly after his final episode of Saturday Night Live. In the videos, Kardashian is using a filter that gives her little devil horns.
That's adorable.
Well, Pete sticks out his tongue.
Which is disgusting.
And then the couple showcased a little PDA with a kiss. Some are comparing them to Courtney and Travis at this point because, like you were saying, Kathy, Courtney is all of a sudden turning into a punk rocker. And it's funny to watch couples as they take on each other.
It's like when you get a dog. You start to resemble. Is that the case? They say the dog resembles the owner.
You start to look like the dog.
Yeah. Let me ask you something, Kathy, with Pete Davidson and this sparse facial hair that's about as much as he can grow. Is that attractive on any guy?
No, you're asking the wrong person. I hate facial hair as it is, even if it is well grown.
All right, Marissa, you like beards.
I do like all facial hair. I do not like his.
Right. Okay. This. If nature has told you can't grow a full beard, right?
Stop it.
Stop it.
Yep.
Stop it.
Norm Macdonald's final comedy special, Nothing Special, is now streaming on Netflix. The comedian passed away in September after a private 9-year battle with leukemia, of course. Netflix writes in the opening credits for Nothing Special, "We are honored to bring you Norm Macdonald's last special, followed by reactions of commentary from a few of his special friends.
Can't
David
wait to see
Letterman,
it.
Dave Chappelle, Molly Shannon, Conan O'Brien, Adam Sandler, and David Spade all paid tribute to the late comedian. The title card reads, "Norm was working hard, preparing material for his Netflix special until COVID shut things down. In the summer of 2020, he was scheduled to undergo a procedure, and as he put it, didn't want to leave anything on the table in case things went south." Sandler had commented on McDonald's material saying it looked like he just wanted to get everything out, and he added that it features a more gentle Norm in this particular one. So, so Steve, you can check that today.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to see that.
It is out. Jerry Bruckheimer has plenty to celebrate over Memorial Day weekend, literally watching the long-awaited sequel to 1986's Top Gun Maverick, beat his previous domestic box office opening record for the holiday, which was set by 2007's Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. And it easily won the record Memorial Day opening at the box office with $156 million, unseating Pirates 3's $153 million opening.
Biggest opening for Tom Cruise ever.
So why the world had to wait 36 years for this? Well, it all boiled down to Joseph Kosinski's pitch to the superstar during the production of Mission Impossible Fallout. Bruckheimer said this was the time that it was going to happen. He was talking about why the sequel arrived now in theaters versus, say, 1 or 2 decades ago. He said it never really got that close. We never had a script. We never had ideas. Joe went to Paris where Tom was shooting Mission Impossible. He had a lookbook and a poster, and he wanted to make sure to do everything right, including shooting the jets with the actors. And apparently that kind of lit a fire under Tom. He said Tom called the head of Paramount, and that started the ball rolling right away.
Could you imagine? Because he recounted the story. He said he literally got on the phone, called the head of Paramount, and said, "Preston, we're making a new Top Gun movie." Like, that's star power. When like you're ordering a pizza.
Yep. On the first Top Gun, there was a push to shoot the actors flying in live jets as well, he said. But apparently, the producers said their eyes rolled back in their heads. They couldn't handle the G-force. The only footage was some of Tom. Given that experience, it's why Cruise devised a flight program on the sequel whereby the performers were trained to tolerate the G-force in 3 different aircrafts before manning the F-18s. So in regards to sequels to other legacy franchises, Bruckheimer says he's still working on another feature follow-up to National Treasure, even though there is a series in the works at Disney+.
I enjoyed those movies.
I liked the first one. The second one got a little bit more ridiculous, which is kind of the way things go when sequels pop up. But I did really like that first movie. He's also producing the Disney Plus movie Young Woman and the Sea, starring Daisy Ridley, about Trudy Ederle, I think is how you say the name, who in 1926 was the first woman to swim across the English Channel. And he's also beginning to focus on the next Beverly Hills Cop Netflix movie starring Eddie Murphy. As far as a third Top Gun goes, for now, he says, there's nothing immediate. Let's just ride this wave.
It's really, you could stop at this one. They're not, because it was a juggernaut, but the way they rejoined the story, and I thought did right by that first story, and made it much better. This is if you were sort of you thought the original Top Gun was okay, you're really going to enjoy this one. They really did everything right.
Yeah, it's on my list. I definitely want to see it. People reports that Maid actress Margaret Qualley and singer-songwriter Jack Antonoff have gotten engaged.
What?
Many were speculating about the couple's engagement.
That's Lena Dunham's ex.
When Qualley showed up at the Cannes Film Festival to promote The Stars at noon last week, wearing a diamond ring.
Oh, my God. How do you get these incredible tidbits?
And apparently it's true. I keep my ear to the ground.
Keep you to the ground. Just like a bird when it's listening for worms.
And Margaret Qualley is whose daughter? Andy McDowell.
Andy McDowell.
Yeah.
And they're both in Maid. And in fact, Andy McDowell plays her mother, her mother has all sorts of issues.
Yeah. E! News reports that former Bachelorette Michelle Young is fed up with the rumors. She's taken.
I can't take it.
Taken to her Instagram stories on Monday, she shared that she and Nate Olakoya are still engaged. She said, "There's a video circulating of me on a rooftop this weekend, and I'm not wearing my engagement ring. And what I will have to say is to the person who is paying close enough attention to catch that moment, You also had to be paying close enough attention to see one of my friends briefly remove my engagement ring to try it on.
Yeah.
And then place it back on my finger.
Goddamn right.
She said, just a friendly reminder that Nate and I, we are human beings, not a zoo exhibit.
So you can shut your butthole.
That's kind of what she's saying. Shut your butthole.
I
please.
found her. I ended up catching a bit of this iteration, and everyone was unrelentingly boring.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. This was sad news to see. Actor Bo Hopkins, famous from American Graffiti and other 70s cult classic films, has passed away. His wife, Cian, shared the sad news, saying Bo had passed away a few weeks ago at a hospital in Van Nuys, California, after suffering a heart attack. He had some legendary roles throughout his 7-decade career, mostly carving out a rep as a supporting actor and a great on-screen villain or scoundrel, especially in American Graffiti. He played Joe, the leader of the Pharaohs greaser gang, at the center of the flick.
But he's the lead of the gang, but he's got a bit of a heart. Like he makes Richard Dreyfuss do some things that are illegal, but at the end of it all, he gives him the jacket and the whole thing and makes him a pharaoh.
Yep. He'd already been making a name for himself in earlier films, including a standout performance in The Wild Bunch. He was also in Midnight Express, The Getaway, A Small Town in Texas, Tentacles, and White Lightning, just to name a few.
Tentacles was the one he won the Oscar for.
A lot of people don't
the
remember
giant octopus.
He also had a lot of TV roles as well. He appeared on Hawaii Five-0, Mod Squad, Bonanza, Gunsmoke, Manhunter, Barnaby Jones, The Rockford Files, Charlie's Angels, The Fall Guy, Dynasty, Murder, She Wrote, and others. Now, I have a little Bo Hopkins story.
Did you meet Bo Hopkins?
No, but so here's the deal. The house, when a short time, for 4 years, we lived in South Carolina. And at the time, Dynasty was huge.
Yes.
And Bo Hopkins got a role on Dynasty.
Right, a recurring role.
And around that time, our neighbors that lived kind of behind us, another street over, but their backyard backed up to ours. So they had a tennis court. They were like rich people.
Okay, yeah.
So they had a tennis court.
Mansion people.
And they were friends with Bo Hopkins. And I watched him play tennis on the tennis court in our backyard.
Mr. Hopkins, it's been an honor to watch you play tennis.
I didn't go over and say anything, but it was like all the buzz.
Wow.
In this tiny little Greenwood, South Carolina, where we lived.
On a network show?
A guy that was on a network show.
And Dynasty? A huge show?
Yeah, so that was my little Bo Hopkins moment.
Do you think that's what got you into radio?
It probably was. I probably saw everybody that was around the streets watching him play tennis got me all excited.
I want Bo Hopkins playing tennis in my backyard.
By the way, he kept working well into the 2000s, sometimes doing voice acting. For the most part, though, he stuck with his gunslinging characters. His last job, I did not know this, was in 2020's Hillbilly Elegy.
Oh.
Opposite Glenn Close and Amy Adams.
That is a Ron Howard film.
So still, all the way up to the very end there.
It's a depressing movie.
So good for him. He was 80 years old. So a nice, long life for him. I loved seeing this story yesterday. My daughter and I have been watching Stranger Things. We're so into it. We watched earlier this month all 3 seasons and the 3rd season twice just to get ready for this. So we're all in. And thanks to season 4, Kate Bush's hit song, Running Up That Hill, has finally made its way to the top of the charts for the first time ever. It only took 37 years to get there.
It's always been one of my favorite songs. And to see it get this kind of success because of this show is so awesome.
Well, and it's very important in the show. And
have you watched, how far in are you?
We're 5 episodes.
Okay,
There's 2 more left.
Yeah.
And so it's very important in the show, and it was so cool. And I actually got choked up when they were using it.
Yeah.
It was just done so well. It was the track originally recorded in 1985 soared to the number 1 spot on iTunes and landed on streaming charts for the first time. It currently sits at number 106 on Spotify's Top 200.
That's cool.
With 1,099,174 plays. The Stranger Things 4 soundtrack, which also features Talking Heads, Kiss, The Beach Boys, and among others, is the number 5 spot on iTunes Top 200 albums. So it's cool. Running Up That Hill is involved with the character Max on the show. And it might be her favorite song, but she isn't the only Kate Bush fan among the cast of Stranger Things. Winona Ryder apparently accessorizes her premiere look with a Kate Bush pin and called the English singer-songwriter a hero of mine. She said, I've been obsessed with her since I was a little girl. I've also been, for the last 7 years, dropping hints on the set, wearing my Kate Bush T-shirts. And I don't know if you did this, but in my school, you had to dress down for PE, and sometimes I just wouldn't. I'd just sit there with my headphones listening to her. She's a hero of mine. So she's got to be happy about
It's
that.
used really well in this series. They do a lot with music. But you just recently watched them all, so they incorporated throughout the entire run of the series.
In fact, Corey Hart gets a big treatment in season 3.
Does he?
There's a scene at the beginning of one of the. It might be the very first episode where Mike is singing to 11 and he's singing Never Surrender.
That's
and
right.
Just laughing at it. Yeah.
Also, Never Ending Story.
Yes.
That theme in the end of season 3. And the Peter Gabriel cover of Heroes. I love that version of that song.
That was the last episode of season 3.
Yes.
Yeah, it was incredible. And by the way, this season, brutal. I mean,
really?
Oh my God.
I haven't dived in yet.
Like, it gets way violent and scary.
Yes, it is. It is the most horrifying of the collective. It's also, Preston, they pull these support characters and these new characters out. The Dungeons and Dragons dude.
Yeah. He's
is
great.
such a cool character.
I agree.
And they managed to make them all gel instantly.
It's worth your time. Entertainment Tonight reports that the first photos of Bradley Cooper on the set of the Netflix biopic Maestro, where he is playing an older and younger version of conductor Leonard Bernstein, have hit.
You would not recognize him you would recognize him more as Rocket Raccoon than you would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's
unbelievable.
And he's great. He takes on a passion project like this. He dives all in, so it should be pretty cool.
His vocal delivery, though, for the character is as Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah?
Which I think is going to be jarring, right?
Yeah.
No.
Steve, I pulled up this article. I thought it was a stock photo footage of Leonard Bernstein, and it's Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
All right, and then one last thing. I don't know much other than this, but according to Deadline, Leslie Mann and Tim Robbins have both left Amazon Studios thriller The Power. Now, I don't know what that's about, but those are two big names to bail on a project. Both roles will be recast and their scenes will be reshot. There's got to be a reason behind that.
Yeah, you don't have two majors walk out like that.
I do not know why as of yet. All right, we are ready for clips. We're going to start with this one. Inspired by Star Trek, the Orville follows the crew of the USS Orville as they face dangers and wonders from outer space while dealing with problems of everyday life. And then this clip, Seth MacFarlane shares why this is his dream project.
Why did you come to L.A.? And this is really the project that brought me out here. It's the one that is, I think, closest to my heart. It combines sci-fi and comedy, two genres which I have great affection for, and I have yet to work in the sci-fi genre, and so it's kind of reinvigorated me as a writer, and I don't think I've had this much fun in years writing scripts.
The third season of The Orville premieres Thursday on Hulu. Next clip. Maisie Williams plays Pamela Rook in the all-new series Pistol, which follows the story of the infamous band, the Sex Pistols, as they change music and culture forever.
Cool.
In this clip, she talks about what her transformation to the character was like.
But for me, I'd never really played a character where I had such a physical transformation. You know, I bleached my eyebrows, bleached my hair. So it was, it really felt like something to center myself every day and find who Jordan was. And I really appreciated that. I've never been able to rely on that sort of physical transformation.
Pistol premieres today on Hulu, should you feel the need to check that out.
It's too much. I'm getting backlogged again.
Oh, me
with
too.
Shows.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Stop it. Stop being entertaining.
And that is what to have in the entertainment report for you this morning. All right, we're going to take a break. We remind you that Springfield High School and Monco, you guys get to vote next for Coolest Teacher of the Year. Let's find out who that is. Text the word teacher to 39333. We'll send you the voting link, and then we'll give you till tomorrow about 6 a.m. to vote for that teacher. When we return, who knows what's going to happen. Although, I do need to mention this. It's Tattoos Day.
Yes.
It feels like Monday.
No, I know.
It's Tattoos Day. If you want to win a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing, text the word tattoo to 39333. We'll see if you win by the end of the show. Back in a moment. Lindsay Lohan is on the verge of turning 30.
30. Dirty 30, right?
Yep. Can you imagine waking up, no makeup, it's kind of actually smeared makeup, hair all kind of crazy. Ha!
Where are my cigarettes?
But she's reflecting back on her past mistakes as well as looking ahead to the future. She discusses her ambitions and failures in a new interview with Vanity Fair. She says of her...
Life is like a chicken finger. Chicken in the center, surrounded by finger.
Life is like that?
Yeah, exactly.
How is life like that?
Exactly like
it. She says
Point taken.
of her checkered past, I wouldn't call things regrets per se. I can't turn back time, but if I could, I would have listened more to my mother and gone back home to New York earlier in life and chosen my friends more wisely.
Regrets? Well, I've had a few, but still too few to mention.
Lindsay also, but you did it your way.
I did it my way.
Yeah.
To me, life, if I may, was like a huge chicken finger.
All right, Lindsay also looks ahead to her
with multiple dipping sauces.
To her milestone birthday on July 2nd, saying, age is only a number, right?
No.
I have learned a lot over time. I'm in a wonderful place in life and look forward to the near and far future and projects that I'm working on.
Something's going on with Lindsay's face these days. It looks as if she's perpetually smelling poop.
That's the way I feel. I'm sorry to go off on a tangent, but about Cersei Lannister on Game of Thrones. Her nostrils are always kind of flared, and the corners of her lips are kind of up a little bit. Like,
did someone defecate? Someone. Everyone, check your trousers.
Eyes open wide, nostrils flared. All right. Anyhow,
the distinct odor of fecal matter.
She said that I'm grateful that I have a voice, which I can now feel comfortable using as a platform to let people know that we all have our ups and downs in life.
Check your trousers.
And we can all come up from the downs if we get in touch with our inner self and spiritual side.
Hey, I'm happy if she's turned it around. She's got that Russian boyfriend, right? The multimillionaire boyfriend?
Yeah, Igor Tarabazov. And that's what? Stravinsky.
This is my woman.
She
loves chicken fingers.
She also says of her future plans of making more films, writing my books, starting my charity, working with children a lot, maybe having some of my own soon after I get some movies done first. She seems to be course corrected and getting her life together. I don't know what that means as far as her career goes, though.
I don't think it's going to be where it could have been, but maybe that's the best thing for her. Maybe getting back into that lifestyle would be detrimental.
Yeah. She could pull a Robert Downey Jr.
She could play Iron Man.
I don't know if she could play Iron Man, but
I can't fit the chicken fingers in this opening. There's an 800-pound gorilla in the room. How do I get chicken fingers through this thing?
Tell Jarvis to open the hatch. And it will. And
You're a disaster.
The face mask will actually.
Jarvis closes and I sell chicken fingers.
Will open, and then you can eat your chicken fingers.
There's a Popeyes on Route 1.
Maybe a little underdone. Let me kick him up a little bit. Just like I like him.
Are you heating them up?
Let me get that for you. They're a little cold. Just like I like him.
No, what I'm saying is she might be able to turn her acting career around. She's not as talented as Robert. Even when Robert Downey Jr. was younger, even in those like Weird Science and Back to School, stuff like that, you could tell he had acting chops. So.
It's hard for her, though, because she really, the party lifestyle left a mark on her appearance. And,
Yes,
and it's harder for women in general. And then when they mess up their appearance like she has over the last 10 years or so. It's going to be an interesting thing to see where she goes next.
Nick, I clearly remember we did it. We did a Dirty Old Man screening of Mean Girls.
Yep.
Well, that's what we called it. We had us, a whole bunch of guys.
We called it the Dirty Old Man Matinee. And we went to a matinee showing of took a bunch of guys to a matinee showing of
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls when she turned 18. Oh my God.
How pathetic.
Hey Lindsay, can you warm up this burrito for me here?
No problem. Stand back. Jarvis, hit it.
Hikaru Sulu.
Yes.
Is revealed to be gay in the upcoming Star Trek Beyond movie. Sulu never had any romantic partners on the original series, but it was eventually revealed that he did have a daughter who was a character in the 1994 movie Star Trek Generations.
And Spock's going to be a plushie, Preston.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you need to do something to that guy.
I find it very comforting around my testicles to feel the soft, stuffed quality.
It is a logical sensation.
Yes. It arouses me in a very primal way. The Ponfar is kicked in. I must return to my home planet and bang a teddy bear.
They should give everyone something. Everyone should have something, right?
I agree. I mean, after
Dr.
all,
McCoy's into hot Carls.
I mean, Kirk's a total perv. He'll bang anything.
after all,
Kirk is crawling with disease.
the show itself was meant to show diversity in the future.
Gene Roddenberry's saying infinite diversity and infinite combinations.
Yeah, all across. And then eventually when it got to the next generation, it got outside of the United States. It got, diversity in different alien species and so forth with, Worf on the deck and so forth.
What you dip your wick in, as they say.
God, what would Worf do? What would his perversion
Oh, this is going to be good. Here, put the saran wrap over your face.
He's the hot Carl fanatic. God, imagine what would come out of that.
Klingon hot Carl?
Oh, my God.
Forget it.
It'd be corrosive.
Oh, my God. It'd be like
burn through your skin.
Like the blood in Alien.
A hot Worf.
Yeah, a hot Worf.
By the way, I think I can safely say that the words Klingon hot Carl have never been said by anyone in humanity before.
I'm sorry. It melted your face. Captain, may I speak with you for a second? What is it, Wolf? I just did a Klingon sexual act and melted my partner's face. How many times have I warned you about the hot Carl?
Hot Worf.
It was not meant for your species.
Oh, my God.
There is no saran wrap that contained my fecal matter. Woo! But in the long run, though, I think this is it's a great way to pay tribute to
George Takei?
George Takei, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's the first LGBT character to be introduced to the franchise in the 50 years that it has been around.
Mr. Wolf, you must stop doing that. You almost breached the outer hull of the ship. We were able to freeze your fecal matter before it hit the retaining wall.
Set shields to maximum.
We
oh, my God.
Can't contain it, sir. It's another hot cattle. Of course, I'm mixing crews here.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. Oh. You can't contain it.
Oh. Can't contain it, Captain. Crazy Klingon.
The final frontier.
And his poopy sex.
Oh, dear God. Okay, so I guess that's revealed in the next movie that Sulu is gay.
And I think it's just, as he said, it's casually mentioned in passing.
Yeah, it's just...
It's not like, they're 69ing,
Yeah. I think I've decided something.
What did you... Wait, are you the decider?
No.
No?
I'm the noticer.
Okay.
But I have decided that when I am the noticer...
Oh, you're going to do something?
You're going to put a fake beard on?
I'm going to put on...
Wow.
Nice. All right.
Hero
That's going to get old real quick.
noticer mask.
Oh, kind of like the noticer?
Preston Elliott, in the dark of night, he seeks out stories to entertain you. He is The Noticer.
I had this superhero mask, and it sat on my desk for years, and I'm like, I wish I could do something with that.
He wished he could do something with it.
So I'm now wearing the superhero mask when I am the Noticer.
Known to a select few as the Noticer.
Yeah. This will get old, right,
It's
Kate?
going to get old for you, not for me.
It's already old.
Well, I noticed that the Mega Millions jackpot for today has ballooned up to $540 million.
Where does that put that in comparison to the biggest of all time?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That $1.1 billion Powerball lottery, theirs is still. I can't look at you.
I'm sorry, I have this mask on my face right now.
Preston,
I'll take it off in a minute.
Nick can't look at him, but we can.
There were 3 winners, 3 tickets won. One is yet to be claimed. If Preston has a mask on, Casey probably should have one on too.
It's not that hard to push a button.
Casey Boy Wonder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Can I put some saran wrap on my face and have Steve
No
take
skull crap on your face. It'll give you a hot wharf.
A steaming
Steaming Klingon?
Steaming Klingon.
I just gave Casey a steaming Klingon.
I'm sure if I'm wearing a mask, then Nick should take his shirt off.
Well, listen.
Okay.
Well, and if Nick's taking his shirt off, I should probably take mine
Done.
off.
Oh, Marissa found some saran wrap.
Pencil loaf.
Are you serious?
It's for the bit.
All right.
Preston Elliott noticed some other things. He's still wearing his mask.
I am still wearing my mask. You know what? I'm going to have an imprint of this mask on my face when I'm done, probably.
So people are going to know who you really are.
Damn it.
We have found out who Batman is. Mr. Wayne, would you step forward? So he's got the line around his...
Yeah. How'd you know?
What?
He does have eye makeup on too, right?
Yes.
I mean, come on.
Yes. How do you get that off so quickly? And
Their application.
And how do you put it on? But he does have
What do you mean?
What?
He's got
see the lines.
the circles around his eyes like the trick binoculars.
And his hair's all molded into the pointed bat ears. That. Come here, look in the mirror. Oh, damn it.
For a while, believe it or not, there was octopus wrestling.
Really?
And you can look that up if you want to.
Who did that?
Or octopus fighting. I'm sorry.
Oh, so an octopus would face off against an octopus. It wouldn't be an octopus
No. A
face off
person.
against 8 people?
No, one person.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was a thing back in like the 1940s or something
Wow.
like that. Nick, do me a favor. Look it
Now
up.
it's time for an octopus fight. Say, this fellow looks rather spry. Do you care to face the octopus?
I wonder if there's
I
anything.
squirted ink in his face. That's dirty pool.
Nick is looking up. I don't see it. What are you looking at? The lion?
The lion and the anaconda. I didn't know that was a fight that was possible.
There are you can find animal fights, like in the wild.
Yeah, I never much liked anacondas anyway. But I guess if lions and anacondas can get along, maybe we all can.
Can you click on that lion anaconda? I want to see that.
That one looks fake.
I was going to watch
Well-made displays.
I think it was a Pokemon. Yeah. And this kid apparently knocked it over and broke it.
Like smashed it.
And what the guy didn't know, the dad didn't know, is it was like
$5,000.
Yeah, it was like this $7,000 thing. And sorry, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Now they went back and they ended up watching video, and the kid wasn't like playing around with it or something like that. He had
just knocked it
he had
over.
leaned on it or something along those lines, and so he knocked it over and it
But I would imagine like bigger stores, I don't know where they are, they have some sort of insurance that if something like that happens, you're not going to make the parent pay for $1,000 ceramic Pikachu.
I've heard stories of again,
I've seen
the old adage is you break it, you bought it.
Right, you break, you buy it. And I've seen that at like smaller stores, like
Right.
especially if they sell glass items, like, especially down the shore, like some of those, little shops down there.
Sure,
If you
yeah.
take the kids in, like you
right.
could see everybody tense up and like there's a little sign that says you break it, you buy it.
I can see you can see the owners like if you walk in, and so we don't have kids, but when people come in with like small kids into places like that, like in New Hope,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
My words before I go in are don't touch anything.
Yeah. No, and I get nervous around stuff like that. If there's shelves with like hundreds of plates or just fragile things.
Yeah.
Like I purposely bring my arms in closer to my body. as I walk along.
Likewise.
I try to shrink myself up as much as possible because I know I'm just going to knock something over.
help, please?
Yeah.
Because you're terrible. Because you could walk. If you were to go, the way you normally go through, you knock over one thing, you're looking at $300 or $400. You know.
I see Jace's eyes though, like I watch him and he's like, "Oh, mom," and what's this? And like he wants to touch it, So that's his way of being like, "Oh, what? I was just asking what it was. I wanted to see what it was. Put it
Don't touch it.
down. Don't touch it.
Kill you.
It's $10,000."
So I definitely want to hear the you broke it, you bought it stories, 215-263-WMMR, whether it was you or your kid or whatever, because we've all had that happen.
So I don't know if she ever had to buy it. She might actually be listening right now. But I had a friend who was at a store, and there was in the middle of the store was a nail polish set up. And I think she tripped and fell, and she fell into the nail polish, and all of the nail polish shattered on the floor, broke. Wait, she pretended like she was passed out because she didn't want to get up.
Shut up.
She pretended like she was like knocked out.
Oh, that's great.
And so when they got her up,
that's
she was
great.
like, "Oh my God."
I'm pretending I passed out.
Yeah. She said it's the whole store smelled like nail polish. She didn't know what to do, and so like her friends like escorted her out, and she pretended like she was like super hurt. Meanwhile, they got into the car and they were like hysterical laughing.
Did she just say things like, "I hope the baby survives"?
Oh my God. What I was going to ask, and I've never done this myself, is if you've ever broken something and then try to like hide it on a shelf, underneath other things or shove it way in the back.
Oh, right.
But that's a much better story.
Yep.
You
Oh, my
pretend you're
God.
just pretend. That's good advice, though. If you break something, pretend you passed out.
By the way, a side subject from this, but whenever you see a movie or a TV show and somebody's walking through the store and there's an elaborate display of some kind of a pyramided...
You know what's going to happen.
You know what's happening, right?
It's like the guys in the movies who have large panes of glass that they're walking across the street with those suction things. You know it's going to happen.
All right, let me get some calls here. I'm going to go with Kyle. Hey, Kyle, good morning.
Hey, Mom, turn the radio down.
What's up, Kyle?
Hey, what's going on? So what if a guy threw a shoe at me? Good morning, guys. When I was a little kid, the local grocery store had like this big, huge display of tomato sauce. They had this like huge family-sized jar. And like any other kid, I'd get lost in the grocery store and wander around. And it was back in the day when your parents didn't care. They kind of hoped that one or two of you wandered off.
Right.
And I knocked over this. It had to have been gallons of pasta sauce into the aisle of the grocery store.
Oh, man.
And these are glass containers?
Oh, yeah. And I'm 5, so I think I could just brush it aside and clean it up. Nobody will know. So I come back to find my mom holding broken pieces of glass with pasta sauce all over my hands.
Oh, man. Oh.
She must have thought you were bleeding out.
That's what she thought. She said, "Oh my God, what's blood? What's pasta sauce?" Like it was horrifying experience.
Hey, Kyle, did they make your folks pay for it, or was there any sort of did they kick your ass out of the store? What happened?
I think they looked at our family funny after that because they knew we were the pasta people. But I'm not sure if they made her pay for it. But if they did, it was probably a couple $100 worth of stuff.
So that would be something where they made this, like, Kathy, you talk about having insurance. And I think you're right. For the most part, insurance will cover a lot of this stuff. But also, what if it's something that, that the store has made, or it's a one of a kind, or, a display?
All right, I do have this story. It's a little bit off topic, but it does involve breaking something, and I had already paid for it. And this is me as a full-grown adult. I had gone to a liquor store, and I had bought a bottle of gin, okay?
Yeah.
And I was, why did I go back? And anyway, I think I had already paid for it, and I forgot something. I came back into the store, and I was in the back of the store, and I dropped it, and it just shatters. And I've already paid for it. And I'm like, you got to be... Or maybe I went outside and dropped it. Anyhow, I dropped this, and I was like...
Yeah.
I was like Bluto in Animal House.
Right, yeah.
When they dropped the booze, like... Because I just paid for this bottle. And I bring it back in, and I'm like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like...
Can you fix it?
Can you fix this? No, but what they told me, and I did not know, that with alcohol like that, as long as the seal on the cap was not broken, they could take it and give me another one.
Really?
So they did?
So they gave me another one. So as long as that seal was not broken, that proved that you didn't drink some out of it and go,
Right.
oops, I dropped it and I need a new one, that they could give me
So
another
they
one.
didn't see you with the straw in the parking lot.
Right. I made a little hole.
I was at a store just this past weekend at the beach. It was kind of like terrain, Kathy. Think about it, where it's like it has all these cute like knickknacks and bric-a-bracs and kitchen things. Plus, you can get lunch there. So while you order, you go and you shop around, and it's beautiful, like pottery and dishes. Everything is breakable.
Yeah.
And in the end, it's very tight aisles, and there's lots of things on the floor. So there's not just like things on tables, but this woman leaned in, and she must have kicked a stand that was set up under the table, and it just started shattering. But it wouldn't stop shattering. There was at least like 9 dishes that fell.
Once and those
But
displays, once it's like that, they're going.
here's the only thing I think she had going for her. It was definitely like all high school kids that were working there, and everyone was like, what to do? Oh,
Right.
Sorry.
Well,
Enjoy
that's the
your
same
macaroons.
thing. I get so nervous when I'm at Cracker Barrel and you're in that store part. And I remember one time, Preston, I knocked over a Mel Tillis CD and cracked the jewel case. And I was like, oh my God, this must be worth, I don't know, $1.
Right? Oh, God. Here's a text that says, knocked over a saxophone off of a stand in a Sam Ash while test driving a bass guitar. Bent the horn into an oval shape upon impact. $2,700 later, guess what I own now?
Oh my God. So what are the parameters of the law or insurance coverage? What are they within their rights to exact from you if you are responsible for breaking something they deem? In other words, are they compelled to go? Is it like when you get into an accident and you decide, Kathy, like your situation, are we going to go through insurance or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you do it outside of that?
I had the same question. What happens if you get in an accident when you're test driving a car?
That's a good question.
You bought it.
You dig it? You bought it?
I think you sign up for their insurance policy when you take
Yeah.
the car off the lot. Don't quote me on that, but I think like in order to do a test drive, you have to sign something that says you are somewhat culpable.
I promise not to break
right,
it.
yeah.
Right. We're going to calls. You broke it. You bought it. 215-263 WMMR. I have Laura on the line. Hey, Laura. Good morning.
Good morning. If I had a hammer,
I'd hammer in the morning.
I'd beat you with the hammer.
Then I'd flee town.
What's up, Laura?
So recently at a pet store in Harleysville, I won't
know which
name
one.
names.
I know
Yes.
which one. Go ahead.
Yes, we live very close to it, and I took my dog in there to buy dog food, thinking I would spend $30 or $40. And he peed on the entire display rack of handmade raincoats for dogs. And the lady was so pissed. Now, mind you, if it was like a bigger box store like PetSmart or something, like they probably would have been like, oh, you know, they have
Right.
cleanup stations. Have a great day. No, this lady was pissed. She gave me like the devil eyes, and she's like, well, now we can't sell them, blah, blah, blah. So they made me buy $50 dog rain jackets. So if anyone is in the market for
Now,
I have plenty of sizes.
a rain jacket, all moisture of
Right?
any type should run
run off
right
it.
off of that.
Yeah.
And,
I know.
And by
I
the
felt
way,
so
how do you home make? What do you knit a rain? Do you ever
Well,
see
it's
like
probably
knitted raincoats?
It's hand sewn to fit a dog. I mean,
But I mean,
they're
it's-
probably not mass producing raincoats for dogs.
But I mean, as Preston points out, it's usually some sort of water repellent
It is.
material.
And that's why I was so pissed. Because I was like, just wipe it off. Just Clorox wipe the damn thing.
How many did
But
you have to
no.
buy, Laura?
3.
So you spent $150 on raincoats.
And also, you're bringing an animal into a store, and they know that from time to time,
They're
an
gonna
animal
pee.
might do something like that. You, as a human being, have very little control over that.
That's why Petco has the Fabergé eggs up on a higher shelf.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that
So
sucks,
they
Laura.
Have, they have since moved that display rack, by the way. I
Yeah.
have been in there since. I thought I would never show my face there again, but I have.
You have to.
And they moved the display rack to a more higher up, which they should have been in the first.
In the first place, yes, absolutely.
All right, thank
Enjoy
you,
the
Laura.
raincoats.
Yeah, yeah. Hope for rain.
Anyone's in the market for raincoats.
Get to use them. Let's go to Keith next. Hey, Keith, good morning.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, Bob, what's going on?
So it was like 1999 when those Dell computers came out that were all different colors.
Yes.
So, right. And they were probably like $1,000 when they came out, right? Maybe.
Yeah. I put that about that price. Yeah, I think you're on the right path.
So we ride our bikes up to the Best Buy, look at video games, not even really looking at them. And they're all on these shelves. My buddy is a moron and goes, wait, does the shelf pull out? So he tries to pull it out, and all these computers fall behind like two shelves and smash. There's also like CD players on there, like heavy stuff.
Of course.
Just smashes. All of them broke. So managers come over, they grab us up, and they're like, hey, man, like, where's your parents? We don't have any. We're orphans.
We're orphans.
And
I'm Batman.
They're like naming off prices, like it's the years of like they're going. Yeah, that's like 1977. That's so it's coming to like $8,000, which I thought I'd never see that money in my life. So we're like, all right, well, can we call our parents? And they're like, so you're orphans, whatever. So as we're walking to the office, my friend's just like, time to go. And we just dip, get on our bikes. And, like, I've never been back to Deptford. So
You've never been back to
You left the
Deptford.
entire
Just in
town
case.
behind you.
Even though you've grown up into an adult. So you guys just bolted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, that's probably why Best Buy's going out of business.
Probably what you did in 1999.
Oh, my God, Keith, I love that story. Oh, man. And listen, as a kid, you just panic, man. You just get out of there. I could totally see that.
Well, when parents have like ultra grabby kids, and you can see, they go into a store like that. You see the law being laid down and kids are just, I mean,
Yeah, just grabbing.
yeah.
I
Too
feel like,
much.
or even fire alarms to kids. You know what I mean? If they can reach that, like stuff like that too.
Here's a text. Listen to this. Says, my 3-year-old thinks it's hilarious to grab candy bars off the shelf and take a bite with the wrapper on, forcing me to buy them every time. I guess that's a way to do it.
Yeah.
You can, if you want that candy bar, you definitely just take a bite. You're going to be buying it.
Can you do the same with like a Lamborghini if you go to the dealership and just
a bite?
Yeah, chew on the wind.
I'm guilty of like smushing the candy to see if it's fresh and then putting that one back and getting another one.
Getting another fresh one?
What are you doing? How can you get a not fresh candy bar?
Or like a
Sometimes-
pastry?
Yeah, or like
She just digs her
Twizzlers.
fingers into the
Did
pastry.
you do the same with the produce, like apples, and take a little bite? Nah, this is good.
No, but I do tell myself that no matter what the apple is, like somebody else picked over that apple.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, while I'm spending too much time trying to pick the right apple, I'm thinking like this apple was picked over by somebody else.
No, I don't know what you mean. Picked over.
Like somebody
passed up on it.
Passed up on it. Somebody
Okay.
else didn't take
It
it
wasn't
home.
a good one.
Yes,
So
and
it's
how
not
does
the
that how
best
does that
one.
make you feel?
Preston, you wanna unpack this right now?
I'm not understanding. So you're saying that all the good apples are taken already, and you're left with the dregs?
Yeah. I'm like the second best apples are left.
These are what if they just put them out and you've got to pick of the litter?
What if you just got there?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Should never
You don't
thought
know.
of it that way.
Thanks. See,
This is
you
a
turned
moral,
it around.
This is a moral crisis you're going through now.
God, I need to talk to you guys more often.
Here's a text that says, Color Me Mine sends me into a cold sweat. I loudly lectured my 2 children during a very crowded holiday weekend not to touch anything. Then picked up one of the largest ceramics,
I'm not sure what that word is.
a Senkan cookie jar. Flipped it upside down to see the price, and
no.
the head flew off,
Oh, no.
bounced twice, and then shattered.
Wait, so the person did it, not the kid?
Yeah,
the adult.
I guess so,
To
yeah.
get it away from the kids.
Oh my God.
It wasn't so much
I love that.
the cost, but the audible gasps from all the other mothers there was the worst.
That space, Preston. It's like when you get kicked in the balls, and that time that it freezes in time for the pain. When something like glass, you drop it, it has the clink clink, lifts up, for like a nanosecond, and then comes back down. It's always the second or third bounce on which it crashes. It's like, God damn it.
Here's a text that says, regarding you break it, you bought it. I'm a civil attorney. If a store puts something on display that they they take the risk that something may be broken and there is no need to pay for it. You do not have to pay for anything that gets broken unless you do it intentionally.
Go take those raincoats back.
Take it back.
Yeah.
In fact, she takes them back. She should piss on them in front of. So that's interesting.
That's what I mean. It's part of like the store insurance. It's like if somebody were to come into your store and get hurt, like you have, you know what I'm saying? You have insurance that's going to cover.
I think they're saying that by what this gentleman or woman is saying, it's because they have opted to put this out as a display. You are absolved, from anything having to do with that.
Yeah.
So you this is you can't be compelled to pay for this then.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I think that's the
even
right
if
thing.
your dog pissed on it.
This wasn't a you break it, you buy it thing, but maybe it was. Remember, we had a conversation about they made a rule because of me.
Oh,
Remember?
yeah.
Right. This says didn't break it, but I reached out and pushed the Liberty Bell when I was 6, and the whole thing swung on its mount.
Oh my God.
Holy Jesus!
Not sure that they would let me take it home if I broke it though.
Well, it's already broken.
Like when they ceremonially ring that bell, they take a little soft mallet and just touch it to it. Like they don't actually hit it and ring it.
Yeah.
So the fact that this guy reached out and pushed it and it swung, they had to have freaked out when that happened. And then they went to a cave in Hawaii.
Yes, and then Vincent Price.
By the way, Casey's not here today. In case you hear some mystery sounds, Marissa is doing her damnedest, doing her best to wrangle the sound effects. So,
Jace didn't break anything, but he loves cars and he loves exotic cars. And so we saw a Lamborghini parked in front of a hotel, and he's like, "Mom, can I go look at the headlights?" He's obsessed with the front of the cars and the headlights. I said, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." And so he walks over, he's like inspecting it, and then he's like, "Wow," he's like, "This is so cool." And I'm like slightly across the street just waiting for him, and as he walks around the side of the car, he takes his hand and he runs it down the whole side of the car. Now listen, not a big deal, he didn't scratch
Was he holding
anything.
keys?
But you know people who have that car, like now it's like a little kid's handprint down the whole side of his car. I was like, oh man,
Look, I got the hood ornament, Mommy.
yeah, seriously. I was like,
that used to be a thing.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Here's a text that says, used to work at Walmart, broke an extremely expensive exercise equipment piece. I was bored out of my mind, and I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing, and knocked it off the shelf and shattered a bunch of pieces on it. No. I put it back on the shelf, set it up so that it looks okay. Customer went to use it weeks later, and it broke instantly.
Oh, what'd you do?
Customer was insanely embarrassed and was just happy no one found out it was me.
Dear God, man, don't you have any sense
Oh, my God.
of how fragile things are? Sir,
What are you doing?
have some respect for the people of the store who work diligently to make sure these things are safely displayed. Wow. You are to leave this Walmart.
Well, it happens. It definitely happens. So, all right. Well, thank you for the stories. We appreciate that. We do need to take a break. As I said earlier, Casey is out today, so Marissa Magnotta is playing the role of Casey Boy here in our studio today. And she's handing me things to give away, and I will comply because we have tickets to see Jurassic World Dominion.
Cool.
We have a 4-pack of tickets, and this screening will be Tuesday the 7th, so it'll be a week from today at 7 p.m. at the UA King of Prussia, and then it hits theaters on June 10th. So we'll take callers 8, 9, and 10. At 215-263-WMMR, and those passes are on us. And while you're calling, you may want to text as well when you get a chance, because we have a Tattoo Day today. It's a chance for win with a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing for your Preston and Steve themed tattoo. They are located at 1729 South Street in Philly, and you can check out their artwork samples. Go to floatingworldtattoo.com or do a search on the Instagram. You'll be able to check them out there, too. We'll take a break. I got some B-File stories. I think you're going to like them. We'll get to them when we return. Stay there.
Do you remember where they had imaginary battles?
Yeah.
So who would win between a fight between a polar bear
and a crocodile?
And a crocodile, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Now this is 4.5 minutes long.
Or what would win, I should say.
Yeah, we don't have time to watch all this. So now we're watching a lion attack a giraffe. Or actually, the giraffe is attacking the lion.
Yeah.
The
Lion-
giraffe is
you're asking-
kicking its ass, too. Oh, my God.
Whoa.
trampling this thing.
I know. That you never thought that a giraffe could beat a lion. But I guess I never much thought that too.
I never much thought that too. Now we're watching a cobra versus a mongoose. Those are known adversaries. They would have fights. You put two of those in a
Ricky Tikki Tavi, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And now, meerkat versus hoot owl.
Snake versus crocodile.
All right, let's go.
Casey's all about this. Man. Yeah.
I think it's snake.
The snake will win the fight.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
Looks like the
crocodile won it. I don't know.
I've seen alligator versus an eel.
Do they tap out?
The snake doesn't
Remember,
have any.
snake. Safe word to sofa.
All right, jaguar versus crocodile. All right, let's see.
You gotta give him play-by-play?
Jag doesn't have a chance. He doesn't even know that the crocodile's in the water.
Looks like he's dragging it out, Casey.
Looks like he's dragging it out, though.
The U.S. Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals issued an opinion which found in part that sharing passwords is a crime prosecutable under the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. And the decision, according to a dissenting opinion on the case, makes millions of people who share passwords for services like Netflix and HBO Go into unwitting federal criminals.
I don't want to go to jail for something stupid like that. Like I know people who have who rent like the streaming movies. Whatever's in the theater right now, they can get online. I'm like,
Right.
I am not
Wouldn't it suck?
doing hard time.
If you're sitting in a cell with a guy who cut somebody's head off,
Yeah.
what are you in for? I shared my Netflix. Say that again? I shared my Netflix password. But tell me how you beheaded that family again.
All right, so I'm a little concerned by this news story.
How many federal laws have you violated?
I don't know. Are there any gray areas in this? And I don't quite get what the illegality on sharing passwords is.
All right, here let me. This is the case that supposedly may set the precedent. The decision came in the case of David Nussel, an employee at the executive search or headhunter firm Korn Ferry International. Nussel, Korn Ferry.
And nozzle.
I'm the Corn Fairy. Your corn will grow tall and yellow. Thank you, Corn Fairy. The Indians refer to it as maize.
If it helps, corn is spelled Korn.
Oh, okay.
And then fairy is Ferry.
Wrong fairy. This is the corn fairy.
I only have one TV in my house, but other people use my Netflix account, and they have their own separate channels. But I'm the one that's paying for it. But I'm allowing them to use it in a different place.
No, then you should be okay if you're covered for X amount of screens.
Yeah,
then
I am.
I don't think
then you're
that-
fine.
But
Okay.
it's
But the people are sharing it, and
I'd lawyer up.
This is all gonna be admitted as evidence in the trial.
Let me ask you something, Mr. McElwain. On the evening of April 23rd, you seemingly shared your Netflix password with a whole cadre of people.
I object.
I'd like to represent myself.
Khloe Kardashian is denying that she was bullying Chloe Moretz when she tweeted a photo of what she believed to be the 19-year-old star's bare butt over the Kim Kardashian-Taylor Swift drama.
Oh, man. Steve, you blew this one.
I saw this picture, though.
I didn't see it.
And it's, now, apparently there was butthole visible.
No.
That's what I hear because it was blocked out. Chloe Moretz Grace Mellencamp is bent over on the beach, and she's wearing a bikini, and they blocked out the area that would be said butthole.
If you're wearing a bikini, how do you see butthole?
The bikini
Off to the
cinches
side.
in, and the butthole pops out.
It's one of my favorite words, by the way.
Butthole.
Butthole.
All right, take a look at this picture.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right.
See what I'm saying?
So she's riding piggyback on a guy, and he's reaching around with his hands to grab her, I guess her legs to support her, but he grabbed her suit and pulled it off to the side.
Whoa.
Oh, that sucks.
And it exposes her butthole.
Okay, but why is Khloe Kardashian tweeting this?
Because she's striking back at
Chloe
Grace
Moretz.
Moretz, because she chimed in on the Tay Kanye conflict.
Now look at this butthole.
Yeah, look at this chick's butthole.
All right, all right. So the response that Chloe wrote was, "Is this the hole you're talking about, or whatever?"
Okay.
So I want to know what Chloe's Maurice Gretz Mellencamp's.
All right.
What her tweet was.
She initially reacted to the Kim and Taylor war by tweeting, "Everyone in this industry needs to get their heads out of a hole."
Yes.
Okay.
And look around to realize what's actually happening in the real world.
That prompted Chloe to post a picture of her butthole.
I rest my case.
Man.
I'm glad we did that story, though.
The butthole wars, they have begun.
The butthole wars.
Here, I'm going to read this headline to you. Poisonous rattlesnake warning in South Jersey. Casey hates the idea of rattlesnakes. And where are you spending your summer?
South Jersey.
That's right.
Oh my
So this, honestly, and we have been for the longest time saying you have nothing to worry about, and apparently we were wrong.
Well, listen, I always thought that they were like west of the Mississippi, like Colorado, Utah, Nevada, that area. And then, lo and behold, a couple of summers ago, my father-in-law saw one up in the Poconos. And I'm like, what? And I didn't believe him.
Because he lies. He's the one who told you about the flying squirrels.
He's a drinker, and he's a
Let me
no
tell
liar.
you something. The place is crawling with unicorns.
Well, he also told me about the flying squirrels up there as well, and I
Now
didn't
that
believe him.
he's accurate.
He's accurate about the rattlesnakes too.
Yeah, the guy is just absolutely tapped into nature. He's Grizzly Adams.
He's a mountain man. He's
a mountain
Poconos.
man. He eats tree bark and lives off deer pee.
If you think one of these snakes is bitten, someone seek medical help immediately.
Oh my God! It says once they bite you, they turn your cell phone off.
Oh no!
Yeah, so you can't call for help.
They're that.
Yeah, they're smart too. Look at snakes getting it on.
We're looking at snakes screwing.
Yeah.
Oh, hey!
Wow, look at that. That actually looks pretty hot. The way they wrap around each other like that.
Romantic.
Look at that.
They provide their own bondage equipment.
That's cozy, actually. They're cuddling.
Yeah.
Wait.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. Ah! Sorry. I got it all over what I perceive to be your back. I can't. Well, snakes, it's hard to tell.
One more time, I'm sorry.
So dumb.
Snake sex on the Preston and Steve show.
I'm going to bang your skin right off you.
They're molting.
The whole thing, yeah.
Romantic.
I banged this chick so hard last night. She totally molted right there.
Can snakes use their own molted skin as condoms?
Oh, I don't know about that. I was thinking more of like a sex doll, you know?
Yeah.
Because when the
Filled it
skin
up with peat moss. It was just like the real thing.
skin comes off whole sometimes, it seems like. Well, we got rattlers. There's a warning in South Jersey, just to give you guys a head up. Officially a warning. They're saying to keep an eye out. It's the mating season, and they're a little bit more prevalent this time around, even though they're endangered. So keep in mind, just listen for the sound
that's
of
it.
them mating.
And you'll know.
And you
Run.
should know. Exactly. And then finally, Korn will release its 12th album, The Serenity of Suffering, on October 21st via Roadrunner. Grammy Award winner Nick Reskelenick, who has worked with Foo Fighters, Deftones, and Mastodon, is producing it. So they're going in this softer direction. The album. The album is a follow-up to 2013's Paradigm Shift. On the album, Slipknot frontman Corey Taylor makes an appearance on the song "A Different World." Stop it.
The hell?
It's gross.
Good Lord.
That reminds me of something. I can't
Tasmanian
think of what that
Devil?
is. No, but I mean,
Or Slayer.
do it again. All right. Okay. Nimnut.
Nimnut.
Nimnut. Is that what he's saying?
You not.
Yimnut.
It's such a weird sound coming out of a human.
All right.
Did Mel Blanc do Tasmanian Devil? He must have,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Let's see. Josh Dallas and Jennifer Goodwin fell in love off screen as their Once Upon a Time characters fell in love on screen.
I can't say I wouldn't fall in love with someone named Josh Dallas.
He told reporters at Comic-Con, magical.
Magical.
On and off screen. It was magical.
Magic.
I can remember now when we were shooting the pilot.
I'm going to cry.
We were shooting that scene where he rides up on the horse and she's asleep in the coffin and she's surrounded by
She's beautiful. Oh my God, she's a vision.
So she's asleep in the coffin.
Oh my God.
And she's surrounded.
She's a vision.
She's surrounded by the forest.
The chirp of a bird.
And listen, and he says, and she's, for all he knows, she's dead. And he goes to kiss her, and she went, "That's disgusting."
Yeah. Sure.
He thinks she's dead.
Oh, well, if you saw the scene, he's actually taking his pants off.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm alive. Oh, I knew that. I was just adjusting my. What were you about to do? Nothing. I had to pee.
You were going to pee on her?
No. I was gonna go behind the tree. You were gonna bang a corpse. I was not. That would have changed the whole
right?
tone and tenor of the show if it turned out he was a necrophile.
Oh my God.
He would be less charming, I would say that.
Yeah.
You know, charming in his thing. No, what? You're dead people. No. Yeah. That's how he met Snow. Thought she was dead.
And then after that, she wakes up, and now he's committed.
He's stuck with her.
And he's stuck with her.
And on and on and on.
He just wanted to, do his business and move on his way because he's a necrophiliac.
Right. And it's horrible because there's so many times you can have a hummingbird land on your shoulder.
My mom last week had a hip replacement surgery.
Yeah.
So I'm over her house the other day, and so she can't so after having a hip replacement, she has to sleep on her back. So
Sure.
she has a hard time with that. So she decided to sleep on the recliner downstairs because she can't sleep in her bed on her back. So the problem is she weighs 10 pounds, Steve.
She does. She's a tiny woman.
She's a tiny little thing, and so she can't. She doesn't weigh enough to weigh the recliner down,
She
right?
can't activate the recliner. She's
she
so
can
small.
put it down, but as the seconds go by, the recliner just lifts up, and she's in a seated position again. So I'm trying to rig the recliner so it stays down, which requires me to get things out of the house. So I need to go at one point into the basement. And I'm 41 years old, Steve, and I opened the basement door, and it's dark down there, and I was like, oh.
Ma, can you come with me?
So, Mom who just had a hip replacement has to walk Casey down the stairs into the basement.
So your childhood fears come rushing back.
Oh, Steve, I had chills up and down my arm.
You've now passed on the basement because it's too scary, and you go up to the second scariest room, or perhaps the most scary.
Yeah,
Are you crapping yourself?
Well, not yet. I'm like, oh man, I have to move a couple of things. I opened the door. And I look at the top of the stairs, and there's a thing there. I was like, "Oh man, what is that?" So I turn, so
a thing.
There was something at the top of the steps.
There's a thing.
All right, so there's something at the top, a figure at the top of the stairs.
You
Steve.
swear that you see a figure. What did this figure look like?
So
a man, a woman?
I do the same thing that I do in the basement. I put my hand on the light switch,
right,
and then I put my face away from the stairwell. Now I'm looking, towards the hallway of the second floor. I turn the light on, right, and then I look at the top of the steps, and sure enough, there's a kid statue there, and I'm like, "Oh man,
a kid statue."
Well, we may be short on one person today as Casey Boy is out, but we have a potential man of the year that's sitting directly across from me right now. Right, Nick McElroy?
That's me, man.
Yeah.
Potentially me, yeah. So it's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. This is a campaign that's been going on for a few weeks. It wraps up tomorrow. Today and tomorrow, the last 2 days. It's a fundraising effort. LLS is just a great organization. They've helped my family out. My nephew is in remission from leukemia. My dad has multiple myeloma. And all they do is they help families that need it. They do it all free of charge. So we're just trying to raise as much money as humanly possible. And if I raise the most amount of money, I am declared Man of the Year, which is silly and kind of ridiculous, but also really cool. It's an honor to be nominated. It really is. So if you want to make a donation, go to PrestonandSteve.com. It's one of the front links, or it's one of the links right on the front page. You can follow me on social media. All the information's there as well. But today and tomorrow are the last 2 days that you can make a donation to my Man of the Year campaign, and all of that money, all of those dollars go right to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society right here in Philadelphia.
Now, keep in mind, though, with the extra, they're going to need the extra money if Nick becomes Man of the Year, because they have to make a crown for the winner.
Well,
it has to be
that's
extra large.
Listen, there's a budget, and they
Nick's head.
They don't want to exceed that budget.
They are actually taking the United States, the ship in the Delaware, apart, and then some of that metal
will be used.
has already been.
It's about time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been sitting there forever. It
has.
The band at the top of one of the smokestacks.
All right, details at WMMR.com. Let's get to the B file.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, we're going to begin with a harrowing tale that took place in Carbondale, Pennsylvania. A kidnapped woman is safe thanks to some alert bank employees at Lackawanna County, Pennsylvania. Investigators say that the suspect, identified as 36-year-old Wilson Medina Garcia, locked the victim in a bedroom on Tuesday afternoon. They say that he destroyed her cell phone, then threatened to kill the woman and her children. And at some point, police say Medina Garcia took her to a title and tag store where she tried to alert workers that she was being kidnapped. However, they did not realize that she needed help, and the woman left with the suspect. Just after noon on Wednesday, police say that Medina Garcia took the woman to a PNC bank to take out a $5,000 loan. And according to authorities, the woman asked a bank worker for a, quote, help loan. And the employees understood that she needed help and set off the silent alarm usually used in the event of a holdup. Yes.
Is that standard procedure that you say?
I don't know. I've never heard of that before, but she was picking up on it. I don't know if she, made some kind of a facial expression or something.
I'm being held captive.
So, she hit the alarm. Police soon arrived to the bank. They arrested Medina Garcia at the scene. Officers went to the apartment where he allegedly was holding the woman captive. They found a lock on the bedroom door and a broken cell phone. So,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, as many times as I get reminded of those various things and hand signals and so on and so forth, I forget them.
There's a lot of things that come up, like on my TikTok, that'll just teach you to like bump into a woman.
Right.
And if you like knock over her purse and kind of like give her a look, like female to female, you kind of know something's up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There should be some sort of set website that has all these things you can kind of go brush up on now and then.
Yeah. A delivery driver had a terrifying encounter in Oklahoma City. Police were called around 3 o'clock in the afternoon in reference to an accident. When they arrived at the scene, they found an Amazon delivery truck that had crashed into a mailbox in a parked vehicle. The driver told investigators he was turning around when he drove past a man and heard something hit the floor of the truck. The victim said he looked back to see what had dropped and saw a grenade rolling around the floorboard.
The dude threw a grenade into an Amazon truck?
Yes. The victim stated he just opened the driver door and jumped out without even thinking about it.
Sure.
And the car was still rolling. He just got out. He sustained minor injuries to his knees after hitting the ground. The victim said that he did not even put the van in park. He just let it drive off.
You want to know the ironic thing? The guy bought the grenade on Amazon.
Oh, my God. When the van crashed into the mailbox and parked car, the victim said that he went back to the van and tossed the grenade out of the van. Okay. I don't think it would have gone anywhere near the van.
Just throw it out of the vehicle.
Officers found the grenade and started removing people from their homes. As a precaution, the bomb squad was called to the scene to remove the grenade. Authorities say surveillance video footage captured the suspect throwing the grenade into the victim's truck. So far, no arrests have been made in the case. And in the story I read, it didn't say if it was a dummy grenade or not. So
that's what I was wondering.
I don't know. And the guy may have had a real grenade. I have no idea. Wow. A man was arrested Friday after committing obscene acting in a Treasure Island clothing store. This is Treasure Island, Florida.
Obscene acting?
It's what it says here.
Yeah.
After committing...
Now Hamlet with his pants down.
Obscene acting. Well, that's partially this.
Oh, really?
Police said that Gary Peter Bush, 69 years old, exposed himself near the fitting rooms of a store. The store manager saw Bush undress and expose himself before he defecated on the store's floor.
All right.
Just going to leave this right here.
Yeah. This is where you crap, right?
The arrest document said that after making a mess on the store's floor, the suspect used a shirt to wipe himself. Bush was later detained by police and told officers that he went to the store to get clothes and returned to get more. The manager identified the man as the suspect, and he was in custody. Bush faces charges for exposure of sexual organs and criminal mischief.
Jesus. And then he left there and went and peed on some dog raincoats.
All right, listen to this. This is pretty wild. And I've never heard of this before, but I guess they have to do this from time to time. But police snipers were called into the scene of a water rescue in Florida to protect divers from alligators.
So I was watching the video of this. Did you see the video, Preston?
Did not.
So the guy's laying down prone. So they show where the alligator, there's one in particular that this sniper is sort of ready to pull the trigger on. And then the camera pans a little bit to the right. And there the guy's trying to work to get these people out of this vehicle. And it's like, Jesus Christ, you got to have balls of steel.
So the Florida Highway Patrol reports a minivan was traveling on the Florida Turnpike on Friday when the driver lost control on an exit ramp, overturned, and then drove into a retention pond. A man and an elderly woman were in the vehicle. Witnesses jumped into the water to help, and authorities called dive teams to the scene along with snipers because these people were stuck in the vehicle.
Yeah.
So the divers pulled the victims from the water while the snipers protected all of them from the alligators in the pond. The woman and man were taken to the hospital in critical condition. It is not known if the snipers had to fire any shots or not, but they brought that in as a precaution.
And there's a video that I forget where I saw it, but again, the alligator's just there floating as they float, kind of looking at everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm hanging here.
Yep. It was a gaper delay, so he was just checking it out like everybody else. So, a tabernacle worth $2 million was stolen from a Catholic church in Brooklyn. The bejeweled tabernacle, a container that houses the Eucharist used in the rite of communion, is irreplaceable due to its historical and artistic value. I did not know what a tabernacle was until this very morning. I thought it had something to do with the choir in
As
Utah.
in the Mormon Tabernacle Choir.
Correct.
I would make that assumption as well.
So this is according to the Roman Catholic Diocese of Brooklyn. They said the heist at St. Augustine Roman Catholic Church was discovered on Saturday by Father Frank Tumino, a pastor there, who said in the statement that the tabernacle was the, quote, central focus of our church outside of worship.
Where's the friggin' tabernacle?
Tumino had been on his way to hear confessions at a parish up the street when he passed by St. Augustine, noticed that one of the doors was ajar. When he went inside, he came across a destruction, finding Eucharist strewn about the altar. The sight made him feel ill, he said, adding the statement that the Eucharist is the tabernacle, or in the tabernacle, had been used in communion for the sick and homebound. Church officials said the burglary happened Friday, while police gave a wider window, saying it happened between Thursday and Saturday. There were no witnesses, and surveillance video was not available. Although police said the tabernacle was solid gold, Father Robert Whelan said in 2013 in a program about the church that it was solid silver coated in 18-karat gold.
$2 million?
Yeah, because of its historical significance, that's part of it. So the tabernacle was finished in 1895, a few years after the opening of the church. The jewels affixed to the tabernacle were donated by parishioners. who were asked at the time to bring their jewelry for its use. Diamonds and other jewels from engagement and wedding rings were used to adorn the structure.
The legend is that it has argentium in it, Preston, blessed by Jesus.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so anyhow, obviously they're looking for that. 'cause that's,
It sounds like a targeted. They went in,
Yeah.
especially for that.
They knew what they were going after. Yep. All right, and there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you. A reminder, we have Springfield High School in Montgomery County. That is up for the coolest teacher vote. We talked to Mr. Michael Blygen earlier this morning, and we're going to find out who we talk to tomorrow via your text at Springfield High School, Monco. So make sure you text the word teacher to 39333. Let them know in the front office so they can make an announcement about it. We'll take a break. We'll come back in just a moment or two. Make sure you stay close. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR.
Kid, like, you're supposed to put it up against the wall where it looks like the kid's crying. You know, like he's having.
Come play with me.
He's having a temper tantrum.
Oh, one of those things.
Right.
You've seen those where they're.
He's like this, Preston.
It's like a stuffed.
Okay.
Right, and it's supposed to look like a kid or playing hide and go seek.
Right.
Okay.
But when I see it, I just get chills all down my arm, and I'm like, oh my god.
And you're sweating.
And I'm sweating, and I still, because I love my mother, I have to go to the third floor and find something.
Face your fears.
So that she
We can play together forever and ever and ever.
So I have to go up these steps, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, just don't turn around, right? To this kid's statue. I'm 41 years old, by the way. Don't turn around, right? So I go up to the top of the steps, and there are no lights on the third floor. So I have the one light in the stairwell. I'm like chills the whole time. And then the demon room was there, and it's all dark, and like
Were you embarrassed?
No, I was by myself. I'm embarrassed telling you guys now because I'm 41 years old,
Right.
and I'm
You got it.
afraid
You're
of
41,
ghosts.
yeah.
Everyone in Philadelphia is listening.
And so I had tunnel vision the whole time I was up.
By the way, not to make this story any longer, if you too are afraid of something in your house, feel free to call in and share your stories. 215-263-WMMR because it's taking a long time. Go ahead.
No. The story's over. I got what I needed.
Oh, we ended.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
I got what I needed, but the fear did not leave me. The chills did not leave my arm until I came all the way downstairs and got to where my sister was there too. Got to my
Why
mom.
didn't your sister go up?
I don't know. Because I'm the man of the
You're the
house.
man.
I was
I'll
the man.
take it.
Clearly.
Let me go have the heart attack.
The man of the house.
Gonna go up. I'm gonna crap myself. I'm gonna go get the ladies, please.
Wow.
I think there's a porn star named Huge Ackman.
Do
I think so.
Do we think? Or,
Yeah, I think there is. I'm going to Google it.
Okay.
You do what you were doing there.
Huge Ackman.
Or Hugh Jackman.
I like Huge Ackman because there's John E. Depth.
Yeah.
We do know that. John E. Depth.
Huge Ack.
The production manager for Guns N' Roses, the current lineup on the
John E. Depth.
Okay.
What about Wilfred Rimley?
Yeah. Rim.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's a Bill Ackman.
There's a.
If I were a porn star and I were huge, I would be called Huge Ackman.
But what's Ackman?
That's my last name.
His last name.
Huge is what I am.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
Ackman.
You usually want the first name to be the action on the second, right?
No, or do whatever you want.
All right. It's your porn star.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Lindsay Lohan is reportedly pushing fiance Igor Tarabasov to get treatment for anger management.
He's got to do something. And now.
The news comes just a few days after the blowout fight in London, which ended with police breaking down the door to Lindsay's home and receiving calls from the neighbors. We talked about this the other day.
You've got serious issues.
Now, her rep told Page Six, Lindsay believes Igor has anger management issues and she would like him to go to therapy. They both want to work things out. Other sources claim that Igor has become controlling over Lindsay, explaining he has taken control over her business. He's in charge of her finances and is controlling over her deals, even though he has no experience in Hollywood.
Do you want to know my issue with Igor? He's always hanging out with his buddies, Dracula and Frankenstein. and Wolfman. And they're great. Don't get me wrong, they're great guys. But they get into trouble.
Bros before hoes. That's
Bros
his theme.
before hoes.
Oh my God.
And then it's like he's off to Transylvania.
Lindsay's rep said that
He did the mash. He did the monster mash. and no, don't get me wrong, it was a graveyard smash.
Lindsay's rep also said,
They cut out of the flash.
I cannot confirm her pregnancy. So that's
what's the deal?
Little follow up to that.
We don't have that?
No.
We don't have that?
We
Come
don't
on.
have we don't have the monster man.
Wait a second. Doesn't Ben play anything they feel like?
Can we borrow from them?
Isn't that the rough and tumble philosophy?
I hope they play that today.
Monster man.
Yeah.
This is probably not.
Chuck.
This is to my personal story.
Yep.
It's not like it's Halloween. I was looking in the lab late one night with my eyes beheld a scary sight.
For my monster from his slab began.
So anyhow,
And suddenly, to my surprise, he did the match. He did the monster match.
The monster mash.
Igor likes the monster match.
He did the mash.
He caught on in the flash.
The mash.
He did the monster match. Now everyone's, was that?
The monster.
Justin, who called in earlier this morning, they had a dumpster pool party in Philadelphia.
A smaller dumpster.
And the license and inspections said you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's against the law in Philadelphia. And we work right across the city limits of Philadelphia. So we're like, not unlike the movie Footloose.
Hey, right.
You cross the city limits. It's legal to do it, so we figured we'd have one on our own here this morning. Oh my God, I just saw a picture of it. That's crazy.
Are we really having a dumpster pool party here?
I think we're going to have a dumpster pool party. I see one person who might be ready to get in the water. I'm looking at Casey. He's wearing goggles, and he has a, what do you call it, swim cap on?
A USA skin cap, yeah.
A
I'm ready for the dumpster pool Olympics.
A star-spangled swim cap on, ready to go.
There's history to be made today as well. A team of Casey's.
Attempting the world record for laps underwater without taking a breath in a dumpster pool. We will have an official world record that's taking place live on the Preston and Steve show this
We just
morning.
might see this at the next Olympics, Preston.
Swimmers, take your mark. Go!
My man started.
He's going down. He's made it to the first end. He's turned around and he's coming back. It's full turn under the water, pushing off the end. Preston, he's back for number two. Turning around back towards number 3 to the back end. He's doing this whole thing underwater.
Wow.
His turns are pretty precise.
Well,
Except for that last one.
Come on, you got
And he's up. He's up. He did 4.
USA!
Yes, all right, I'm going to try to break Casey's world record for dumpster swimming.
Now, Preston is one of those privileged people who has a pool in his backyard.
I do. My pool is probably twice the size of this length.
It's
and
two dumpsters side by side.
I went in and I did a couple of quick test laps, and it's a little further than I thought it was going to be.
Well, let's see. I can't let you break my world record without me attempting to break your world record.
And we are ready. And we are set. Go. He's underwater.
All right, he's got
Suddenly he's become British.
one length, turned around, coming back.
Back. He's coming back.
Right.
2 lengths, done. Now he's going halfway for his 3rd length.
It's a merman.
Turning around, approaching his 4th length. This is to tie the world record. He has tied the world record.
Going again.
He's going. Oh wow! Is he going to shatter the world record? He did 5. Oh,
He shattered.
Day in the
Destroyed
morning.
the world record.
Let's get a word with the champion. Champ, how do you feel? Are you exhausted?
Woo!
What were you using as your technique?
I feel pretty good. My technique was just all natural technique. Was just glide through the water, Pierre. It looks like somebody's suiting up down there at the end of the platform.
Oh, Casey getting in.
Casey,
There we go.
Graceful entrance.
you should be on the cover of Men's Health. Ready and set. Go. The big man is underwater. Wow, look at all his tattoos.
He is moving fast with logicious speed.
What kind of speed?
Logicious.
Logicious speed.
He's on his third lane.
Swimmers know what logicious means.
I was watching the Olympics the other day, and there was a bike race on this
That's
English.
Four.
Is each one one?
Yep.
Right.
All right, so
5.
he's now tied. Preston.
It's a tie, ladies and gentlemen.
2.
Wow.
Let's get a word with the new champ, who's also a tie. How do you feel, Kate?
I'm really tired. That was so hard. I had to. I wanted to quit at 4, but I couldn't.
Winners never quit and quitters never win.
I was like,
There's no I in T.
I almost passed out, but I made it.
You sure the hell did.
Oh, my God. This is a victory. This is a victory not only for Casey.
All right, let's see if we can get an answer to this stupid question. What type of animal was Dolly, the first mammal cloned from an adult somatic cell in 1996 when that happened? 215-263. WMMR, and it looks like Mike here was our first caller in, so I'm going to go to him. Good morning, Mike.
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, my man. So what type of mammal was it?
A sheep.
A sheep, yes. Dolly the sheep. That's the audio of the cloning process.
It didn't work as well as they had hoped. There were complications.
All right.
Well, good morning.
Run!
Listen, let's give something away here. We have this screening of Mechanic Resurrection. It's a Jason Statham.
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham in the Mechanic.
Jason Statham.
Resurrection. You remember when he died in the first one, Preston? He comes back as the leader of a religion now. The stone. And I swear to God, Jason Statham is back from the dead. I saw the boulder was moved.
I hate you, Casey. He's just looking at me laughing.
Such a great name.
I'm so programmed to automatically wrap something up as soon as I hear 1-800-GAMBLER. Except in the traffic report. All right, so yeah, we did it. We went down or wherever over to North Wildwood. And we did indeed have a live broadcast to kick off the first weekend of the summer. Not, calendar summer, but nonetheless summer in our hearts.
I think eventually we'll get a national status.
Yeah, that it starts.
Or actually opening summer.
But we managed to pull it off. And I honestly, leading into, and I didn't even think about it till that morning. Because we had, obviously a few contests planned that we needed a crowd to be a part of. And I remember thinking like an hour or so before the show starts, I'm like, what if not enough people show up?
Come on.
What if for some reason
you were looking out
change?
Yeah, with the crowd surfing contest, he was concerned, but Nick had just come in and said, "Oh, there are people."
Yeah, this is not a problem.
Because I hadn't been out front to see the line, and I saw a few people filter, and I'm like, man, I hope we have enough people for the crowd surfing contest. And then like 15 minutes later, I turned my head. I'm like, oh, it's okay.
Preston,
we're okay.
So we've done this for many years, and certainly, we have an accumulated knowledge of what it's like and how loud it gets. It was incredibly loud, incredibly early by my reckoning. Like my headphones were up a lot, and I have my volume up a lot to begin with, and I was like, oh my God, this room is really loud.
somehow over the years, it seems that Keenan's changes everything year after year after year. And I don't know how they've done it, but this is, I think, my favorite layout of what that actual bar is on the inside.
It's excellent.
I liked having the bar on the left-hand side looking out from the stage to the left. I liked how the stage setup was. We had a little bit of a buffer between us and the audience. And then people, if they wanted to hang out in the room with us, could. If they wanted to go elsewhere within Keenan's, they could do that as well. I thought that the whole layout for the bar was really well done, and I was happy with the results for all of it.
And you know what? Honestly, the overcast nature of the morning, people were kind of working their way into the weekend. There weren't, so it wasn't oppressively hot. It did work. It worked really nicely.
We are, as we speak, while we're talking about this, watching the video playback of when we did the tribute to the Golden Girls.
Yes.
For what we called cloud surfing, because we put our contestants in this contraption that's covered in cotton to make it look as if it's a cloud. And as they go through the crowd, they have to pick up these cardboard replicas of Dorothy, Blanche, Sophia, and Rose from the Golden Girls, and then bring them to the angel, Steve Morrison, and cast them into heaven. It was such... I love it.
It's
great. Oh, my God. It was so dumb and so wonderful.
Jen Frederick was on the, took an honorary position with the first Betty White. And it was great.
Oh, my God.
But, man, there were one or two times where I'm like, the second time around they were booking, but the whole thing almost flipped over, but they caught it. It was fantastic.
Look at her. She's dressed in this angel outfit. Oh, my God. That was fun. That was a good time.
And, the first girl that went was 21 years old. She submitted to be in the contest and said, I've been waiting years to attend this with my mom. So I imagine for years she's been sitting at home while her parents leave to go to Keenan's, and now she could finally join.
Marissa, there were a whole bunch of newbies and people in that same sort of scenario who had just turned 21 or have heard about the party and wanted to come down and be a part of it. And, man, it was so cool to see that.
Yeah, people were in fine form. I didn't see anybody getting too out of hand. That's for later on. That's after we're done.
Right.
I remember in years past somebody sending pictures of passed out people in front yards and with the caption, "You guys broke Wildwood."
I was with a few people.
Oh, yeah?
Well, the contestants for the balloon race. Well, I think because it took a little while, and so they continued to drink. And then, like, when they went to race, I was like, oh, the both of them are
the balloon race,
a little different.
Balloon race people and the Surrey race people.
Yes.
They've been having a few cocktails.
Oh, my God, man,
yeah. The Surrey race thing was a blast.
It was so fun to watch.
I got to thank Casey for setting that up and getting all the necessary stuff that we had to have. And besides the Surreys, we had all of the noise-making equipment, the gong and the crash cymbals and the horns and these things and so on.
These kind of things that you find at various events. I'll tell you what, that the Surreys are not as turn on a dime as you might imagine they would be.
And in fact, afterwards, me and Casey and Chuck drove the Surrey to a place in North Wildwood called Surfing Pig.
Right.
And we had breakfast after the show. And that thing was a pain in the ass to drive.
Oh, no doubt.
And so then when we were done, when we got done, Casey still needed to take the Surrey from the place that we got it, which was at the boardwalk, like near the convention hall in Wildwood. That's a 2.5 mile ride. And he talked Chuck into driving that back with him. I left. And I ended up because they needed a ride afterwards. So they had to drive that thing all the freaking way back.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So that we worked our legs that day. But our contestants did a great job. They did way better than I thought they were going to.
There was a moment and I know it pissed you off, Preston, but where we were doing the Louder Than Nick contest.
I told Casey.
I know.
I said there was only one moment in the morning where I got legitimately mad.
And I was laughing so hard at it.
It was so funny.
And it ended up being funny.
It was great.
Yeah. And it was because I was trying to get the crowd quiet so we could get the proper decibel level for our Louder Than Nick contest for these people to scream. And at some point, I guess, Steve, you started with the USA chant after I tried to quiet the crowd.
It started because Nick went up. You quieted the crowd, and then Nick went up to start the contest, and he was like, all right, we ready, guys?
Yeah.
And you were like, what?
I screwed up.
Quieted them
Right. And then so you had to do it again, and then we set it up. But then when Casey came
And
in,
then Steve did it. And
USA!
Then I had to quiet him down again. And then I was getting ready, right as I was getting ready to do it, Casey started the Eagles chant.
He just went, E!
Yep.
That was it.
And so I literally dropped the microphone and threw my headphones off. And I looked back at Casey, and he had his face in his
We were
hands.
dying.
I know.
We were hysterical
I know.
laughing. It was
I told
so
him about
funny.
that later on. I was mad for a second, and it was funny because at some point I was just like, let
wanna
me,
get it over.
just God damn it, just let me get this done, please. And it was funny as hell. It ended up being great.
My favorite moment came. Casey and I were just running around finding all of the elements. I would be setting up. So actually, as we're watching these videos, I hadn't seen most of these things because I would be setting up the next contest as they were happening. And I find Casey and I go, dude, just half of the stuff is gone. Like all of our stuff is gone.
The meticulous planning, all of it. There was a staging area here for a number of days.
Yeah.
All the things involved in that disappeared.
So we did our best to make shift and find a few elements, and Casey just walks onto the microphone and all deflated and defeated, and he just goes, Preston, I don't know what's going on. Just everything's gone. And then suddenly out of the corner of a room, these guys lift up the bin. They're like, is this the bin you're looking for?
Yeah,
And that
Casey
was
made
it.
the announcement, and sure enough, it was there. Somebody had left it in another part of the room.
Don't know why that was.
Thank God.
Well, thank you to our MM Army guys. We haven't done this in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's been some turnover. We've had some new staffers. So they all came in, trying to help. And we were like, just kind of follow our lead. We're going to tell you where we need help. And there were a few moments when they jumped in to set up a few things. And that's how the bin went missing. But thank you for the amazing crowd for finding it.
And the baptism of beer, I thought was the best one we've done yet, too.
Yeah.
It's certainly the most beer had to be by far.
Well,
I didn't put my robe on right.
No, Nick.
Oh my God.
I nearly fell off the table.
Well, what happened with that? So we were wearing monks' robes as we were doing that, and I found out early too that those robes are really, really long, and if you step on them while you're walking, you're going to fall down.
Mm-hmm.
And Casey was like, "Well, I had the rope belt."
Yeah.
And he's like, "You got to pull it up and then tie that off." He did. I'm like, "Oh."
There we go.
Whole new thing here.
Yeah.
Nick didn't even have his belt on.
I kept looking at Steve. So I was out on
Steve
the
and I
table in
were
the audience,
watching you.
and Steve and I we kept making eye contact, and I was laughing at you, laughing at me. It was I had fun out there, and then when I finished pouring my beer, I handed the microphone to Marissa, and she went up and she started pouring beer as well.
It looked like a monk strip club.
Yeah.
Like there were monks dancing on the tables.
Yeah.
I tapped Steve. I go, look over at Nick. He couldn't. It was like he wasn't moving. He kept trying to get up onto the bar, but
nervous.
he couldn't. But I know, yeah, because you were stepping on your
was gonna fall
monk
on my
outfit.
ass.
Oh my God, it was pretty funny.
And also, we had to do, and this year we were finally fully prepared for the baptism of beer, is that particular bar in that area doesn't have taps.
Right.
They only serve bottles. And so they have bottles and mixed drinks. And so this year we wised up, and our friends at Coors Light brought us a quarter keg.
Got a set.
And we used all of it. We used every bit of it. I think it was like 18 pitchers.
I mean, it must have gone on it felt like it was 20 minutes.
It felt like it was really long.
Did it go too long?
No.
We just, I guess it did. It kept going.
No, because what happened is, at a certain point, I thought it was, and then people got it and started to do the koi fish thing, which is what you want them to do, where they're leaning back with their mouths open.
Yeah.
And then it started to work.
Well, at first I would walk up to people and they just kind of bend their head down. And I'm like, no.
Don't you want any?
We're not actually baptizing. We're pouring you in the mouth. This is what we're doing. We're giving you some beer.
Wait, and then the pitchers were from the dollar store. So the weight of the beer kept breaking them.
Yep.
And Nick went to throw like the rest of just a little bit of beer that was left.
Spray it out.
And it snapped off the handle and it went flying across the room.
It looked like Nick threw purposefully through the pitcher.
We thought you threw it.
Right, and I did not. I was trying to just douse people with more beer, and but yeah, I did that motion, and then I held onto the handle, and the rest of the pitcher went over the other side of Keenan's.
Can confirm because the same thing happened with my first pitcher.
Really?
I went to like swing it to just flashed somebody and it flew off. They were dirty pictures that were sitting around for 3 years.
All right. Next time, can we go to the $2 store
Yes.
and get pictures? Maybe that'll.
We'll go to Five Below.
Oh my God, we're looking at the video of Marissa's pictures snapping right off of her
Winged it
hand.
at her.
Oh my God!
All the things that went, and again, no one was, at least to the best of our knowledge, injured. It all worked out quite well. And talk about a level of enthusiasm, Preston. We knew people were sort of, just super eager for this return, but it exceeded that.
Kath, what were you going to say?
I can assure you, we will not be allowed to use the outdoor space next year. I'm just going to throw that out there to everyone so that you know for next year we're not going to be out there.
Were you told that?
Oh, yeah, we were told a lot. We're lucky that it even happened.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
With the balloons?
The
All
balloons
of that,
and the Surrey race and all of it.
all of that had been sent.
I thought
As
it went
Casey
well.
saw me, the emails, everyone had been apprised. I don't know how,
Well, it's why the balloon race didn't go off. I mean, we all knew how it was supposed to go off, but it didn't because they shut them down. Then they let us start back up. Then we had to move things. And so, yeah, it was... They weren't happy with us.
I want to hear about that and why they thought that was a bad idea, because it ended up being a blast.
Yeah, worked quite well.
Later on that afternoon, I ended up, Casey and I went by the Icona where Jackson was doing his show. And so when we stopped by there, a few of the people that were in the pegging with eggs contest came by. They were still going.
Yeah.
They weren't sloppy or anything.
No,
We had a few beers and hung out and chatted with Jackson.
That
for a bit.
Icona's
Isn't it nice?
isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, their Star Bar is really cool.
Yeah. So did Jackson have to move inside because there was some threat of weather?
There was. In fact, we're having some work done on our house, and there were guys up on ladders, and I saw the radar, and I go outside. I'm like, you guys got to get down now, because a nasty thunderstorm front came through. And it kicked up some wind pretty heavy for a while. So, yeah, by the time we went down to visit with Jackson, it was still just raining. But they had all the tent, it was all tented, essentially, for lack of a better term. So, they had a big area at the bar there by the beach where we could hang out as he did his show.
I had to drive back up, but I was listening to some of Pierre's show on the drive from Wildwood back up here, and Pierre was out on the boardwalk, and that sounded like a great time. But there were a bunch of listeners that went from our broadcast at Keenan's up to see Pierre at Margaritaville, and the Pierre was like in his element. He's on the boardwalk at Margaritaville. I mean, he sounded like he was having a great time too.
By the way, here's a text from one of the guys who came to Icona. It says, pegged with eggs winner, Jack here. Sore for 2 days after drinking for 12 hours and probably 12 eggs thrown at me. Most fun I've ever had.
Wow.
Nice.
There you go.
We are happy to hear that.
There you go.
Our contest, if you missed it, pegging with eggs, we had essentially a Jeopardy-style contest, a trivia contest, and in order to answer the question, you had to buzz in by whipping eggs at your partner.
Man, we had so many eggs.
We had tons.
So many eggs.
We were starting to rapid fire get rid of them at the end, but it was... Look at these guys
Oh my God, I didn't see this either.
in their presidency boy shorts getting pegged with eggs. So that one went over well. Rodney was a little concerned about the mess we were going to make, but I think we held it together pretty solid.
It contained pretty well.
Yeah.
I was very happy with that.
I'm sorry, Steve. No. I'm just astounded that we go from in the same week Barbecue to Keenan's and survive.
Yes.
It's with less than a week in between the two, and it's a lot. And barbecue was 95 degrees or whatever it was, but they were both fantastic. It was such a good vibe on Friday. Like everybody was having fun, and it was really cool to be in that room again.
I have selective memory. Are they normally this close in proximity?
Yeah.
It's always a week apart.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes.
Every year.
It's always a week apart.
I guess I've suppressed that.
Yes, probably therapy through the help of somebody who really cares. They've gotten you over the hub, and then you block it out.
Yeah, but the rest of the weekend at the shore was outstanding. Like the next day, I had no thoughts of going to the beach at all, but the sun came out and it was just pristine, and we ended up heading to the beach and hanging out there for a few hours.
That's cool.
It was wonderful. So hopefully you got a chance to hang down there the whole weekend. If not, that little trip down for the broadcast is definitely hopefully one actually that you'll remember for a while.
Yes, absolutely.
Or never remember again for the rest of your life.
Lifetime of regrets.
Yeah.
We have a friend, Frank. Nick, what's Frank's last name?
Oh, yes. Shoot, I'll find him, Marissa. But he took a lot of photos, and he was editing them and putting them together. And so he's going to get them over to Marissa, and we'll get them up on the website later today or tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's Frankie James Photography, and we'll have them up on the website soon, so you can see lots of images. And then Nick Murphy's working on Daily Rush videos. So it's all covered.
Excellent. Yeah, that's right. We had the video rolling the whole time, and Murph managed to get the camera outside for the Surrey race and the balloon contest.
That's the first time we've had the show fully streamed with that kind of capability and running on YouTube.
And in fact, more than a few times as I was around Wildwood this weekend, just either, out walking the dog or whatever I was doing, somebody would go, "Hey, you guys look great yesterday." Like they were watching
it, yeah.
on video.
That's awesome.
So I got that actually from a guy who was on the same block as Keenan's.
Yeah.
As I was walking back from when we came back, he's like, "You guys look great this morning." He's like, "I was streaming you on the web." I'm like, "You're a block away from where we were." But he just didn't want to go in there.
Right.
And so he hung out and watched us online, which was
it can be a little daunting.
Preston, what's the name of the restaurant we went to for lunch?
Surfing Pig.
Oh, that was a fun place.
That was really good. I'd never been there before. And we sat there, and Tyrone from The Fanatic came with me and Casey and Marissa and Nick and so on.
I kept looking at Tyrone's face, and he's such a great guy. I love him. But he couldn't believe it. What the hell is going on here? He walked in, and it was just wide-eyed, and he just couldn't believe it. It was really cool to see Tyrone experience it for the first time.
Yep. So next year, right? You'll join us?
Yeah.
Is that what'll happen?
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Remember, it'll just be 1 week after the MMRBQ.
Oh, my God. All right. Real quick, if you don't mind, I have a shout out here I would like to mention. This is from Nicole Ervin. She says, "Hey, guys, I want to tell you about your biggest fan. And when I tell you about him, you will be his biggest fan. His name is Colonel Thomas McAvoy. And Tom is retiring after 30 years in the service in the United States Army.
Wow.
One of his commanders, Colonel Adam Reich, wrote, I recall Tom being one of the finest young officers that I served with during my mobilization. Because our group was heavily loaded with lieutenant colonels, I called on Tom on many occasions to help me, quote, herd cats. This was definitely not an easy task given the multitude of egos. Regardless, Tom was always on task and managed chaos with the excellence of an outstanding educator. We would not have pulled off as many successful missions without his persistent dedication. And Tom also did a few tours overseas. And she also writes, Tom has also been a math teacher for over 20 years and at a middle school. And he coaches the wrestling team. And we all know that our teachers could use a little bit of love right now. Tom's contribution to society are honorable and priceless. He is an avid listener to your show. And his fellow teachers are reaching out to see if you could give him a shout out on your program.
Absolutely.
So we are more than happy to do that. So, Colonel Thomas McAvoy, Shart, and congratulations, man. That's a huge, huge accomplishment.
Yes.
Thanks for everything.
Lots of achievements in that life.
Yep. Here, this is not a Shart out, but it does have to do with a Shart. This was from Ben Boyles, who said, "Hey guys, I pulled up behind this guy in Montoursville, Pennsylvania, my hometown, on Monday, and could not believe my eyes. No, this is not fake. Immediately, I said to my wife, I have to send this to the Preston and Steve show. They will love it." So I have a picture to show you guys. So this is a guy on a motorcycle. I tried to print it up, and it came up in two pieces. The guy on a motorcycle, this is his license plate on the motorcycle. It says Shart. It's a Pennsylvania license plate.
Wow.
That just says Shart, S-H-A-R-T. How can you have that? I would think that would be flagged.
Well, they throw up, they'll refuse things that are much less overt than that.
Yes, agreed.
Maybe they didn't know what it meant if it's a couple years old.
Yeah, like maybe it's S. Hart is what they were thinking.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if the guy's last name, maybe his name is Steve Hart. I don't know. Art. Quiet. We're in a library, Art.
I love that it's right under his butt.
Yeah, well, that's, of course, where it would be, yes. So maybe this guy will get in touch with us.
I like that a lot.
All right, and then this is not really a Shart out, but it's an interesting email. Marissa and I both got it. And this is from someone named Allie, and she writes, I'm a grad student, privileged, working on ideas for a research study on radio listeners. And I had to pick a topic. And since I was listening to you all while I was thinking about it, as per usual, I started thinking about all the different kinds of people, the wide range of ages of people from all over the world who listen into this show every day. The guy who called in to say that he listened in Germany while deployed really got me thinking about it. So I made a social media post asking why. Why do people wake up at the ass crack of dawn to listen to this show? Come for the news, stay for the sharts?
Yeah.
You know I do. Throw a poor, struggling grad student a bone. So that's from Allie P. And so Marissa has posted this on our Instagram page. And you can leave a quick comment explaining why you listen and help Allie with her research paper on top of it, which is pretty cool. So a little bit of assistance, and we'll throw that out there.
Sure.
And see if you know. And speaking of that, like looking at that crowd at Keenan's, speaking about the wide variety of people that listen to the show, it's pretty wild seeing the age differences and, people from, different parts of the region. And it's just kind of interesting.
People that have had, so again, I don't know how you even reconcile this in your mind, but kids who were there as adults who were started listening because their parents were listening.
I know.
They were being driven to like elementary school. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then there they are, full adults, maybe with kids of their own. And it's like.
It doesn't feel like we've been in the air that long.
Yeah, this generational thing.
To do that.
It's crazy.
Yep.
There were a couple of those we got from the Emma barbecue this year. We met, people that are almost as tall as Preston, but when they first started listening to us when their children were like 3 or 4 years old.
Oh, there were two guys there. They were brothers, and they were like 6'3" and 6'4", and Daddy was driving them to school when they first started listening.
Yeah, and sometimes people show you a picture and go, "See this?
Yeah,
that's that guy standing next to you now." And it was, like a baby meeting us at the Camp Out for Hunger or something along.
And the tragic thing is that. I always look the same.
We haven't changed.
He looks horrible.
Well, all right. Well, anyhow, I think we should take a break, but not before I give away. Marissa, do we have some more of those movie passes? Or what do I have here? Oh, yes. This is Jurassic World Dominion. We have that screening next Tuesday at 7 o'clock UA King of Prussia. So let's take callers 11, 12, and 13. I'll give you 4 packs to see the movie. 11, 12, and 13. 215-263 WMMR. It stars Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Sam Neill, and Tuesday, June 7th, 7 p.m. at UA King of Prussia. It will be in theaters June 10th, rated PG-13. So let's set you up with that right now. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in just a moment, so hang with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3.
We all do Everybody does it.
Everybody.
It goes between Kathy and Casey.
The hybrid.
Kathy. All right, so I have tickets to see The Mechanic Resurrection starring Jason Statham. Steve sent me this story. President Lyndon Baines Johnson would apparently, according to this story, relieve the stress of his job by sleeping with prostitutes.
But see if you can't believe me about it.
It's him talking to a hooker.
Ends round under my back to my bunghole.
What I need you to do is to do a little thing with your index finger and tickling in the general area of my taint and the back of my bunghole. Hope they're not recording this.
Just very matter of fact.
Yeah, he's actually they were world leaders in the Oval Office at the time he made that call. Excuse me, folks, just got to take this call from my hooker.
But one of his prostitutes includes one favorite whom he would introduce as a family friend. Penny, who had a clean-cut look, according to Blank, she would be spirited away to a series of ranches between Austin and LaGrange. There, she would be introduced as a friend of Johnson's family until the pair could find somewhere more secluded.
Oh, man.
She visited
The crotch down where your nuts hang is always a little too tight.
He's very specific with his hookers.
Where your nuts hang.
You know where your nuts hang.
Yeah, that's in the crotch area.
You know, in that exact area where the poop comes out. You know what I'm talking about. The sweat kind of congeals around just behind your testes. Jesus. That's the president.
Were you nuts?
And you really can't tell. You said, Jamie, hand down there and take a good snip on your fingers. What's working down there? What do I got? Is this hooker friendly yet, or do I got to run the old pee-pee down under the water a little bit? Clean it up.
Dude, you smell your fingers.
Yeah, so the hooker don't wince when you're on top of her doing a little rodeo, you know? You know what I'm saying. Let me do a quick check. All right, we're good. Call up the Chicken Ranch. Extra crispy.
Hang on a second here.
Just damn that. What, does that smell like? What that kind of smells like okra.
Let me go to Dawn here. Hey, Dawn, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, what's up, Dawn?
I help my niece. I grew up on a dairy farm.
Okay.
And you work no matter what.
Yeah.
And this past weekend, I was helping her milk, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, we were soaked in sweat.
I'm sure.
Milking cows.
You never want to rip one of those teats off?
No, you just want to walk. Maybe find a hay bale, toss a hay bale or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I go out in 98-degree weather and throw hay bales around.
No.
That'll work off all that anger.
Boots.
I just beat 10 chickens to death.
Hey, Dawn. All right, I want to.
Go ahead.
What kind of milk? Not what kind of milk. But
What kind of milk do you like?
where can I get your milk?
I'm a 2%er myself.
I used to be a 2%er. Now I'm a skim guy. But where can I get your milk?
What kind of milk?
Wait. Can't say that.
Dawn.
Say manure.
You're going so well.
Manure.
Manure.
Ah, jeez.
What stores can I buy your milk at?
What stores can he find your milk at?
I feel horrible for my boy here.
Oh, my God.
Casey's in real pain, man. I told you his neck has been bothering him, and he's at the point where he can't turn his head. It's his whole torso. And if you look up, it's almost that.
Yeah.
You know?
He's doing Thriller.
Yeah, you're doing that Thriller move. Where Michael goes up and turns to the side, with his hands
You
up.
can't laugh. You can't laugh.
Oh my God, that hurts so bad.
Now's the time for getting down.
Well, I think
feel
we're
bad
back
for
to
you,
the
man.
point where now we have to tell. He has to go to the doctor. This is not like a stiff neck. It's been a while.
I'm not like the other guys.
It's clearly meningitis. So, I don't know.
That heart attack thing.
You okay?
Yes.
All right. This is what it looks like. Hey, Casey.
Yes.
Master. I wanted to set up the stop set.
You poor bastard.
Oh, he's laughing and in pain at the same time. I feel so.
God, that hurts
I must
so bad.
let you know we have a sleep number spot coming up. Make sure you sound enthusiastic.
Unfortunately, you're in the most sympathetic room in Philadelphia.
But listen quickly. There's a few people that are texting in. They know exactly how much. A guy says 8 beers, and I'm effing like a goddamn champion.
Yeah, but 10.
That's a lot.
But you
That's
can't.
the fine
Kathy's
line.
right. 8 beers is a lot.
I guess it would depend over what amount of time. But maybe you know that exact amount.
You're in the pocket.
That will give you duration.
Yeah.
Yet not completely cancel the party.
Without urination.
Duration without urination. Stand for it now.
There we go.
But there may be a magic amount or a magic elixir.
What do you think your magic number is?
Drink.
I bet you. I peg you as a 4.
That's
beer.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
4 was the number that came to mind, but I've never actually done the specific math.
Well, when we had the camp out, it took you about 4 before we were getting it on.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
I had to lower my inhibitions a little bit.
Do different types of alcohol.
Fear of rejection.
That's
from
what actually
Steve.
kept the camp out going. It's like a
All these
Brokeback.
years, yeah.
Do you think those guys really gave a damn about sheep herding?
I couldn't quit that.
If you're drinking bourbon versus beer, does that change your approach?
No, I think
right, straight up booze.
I find that my alcohol buzzes aren't really different from others. It's just how much.
Okay.
You know? I don't know.
I can't drink 4 beers anymore. That guy that texted in 8 beers, forget it. I'll be throwing up in the corner.
Over a couple hours, you can drink 4 beers?
Oh, I love beer. I just can't drink 8 of them.
What? How many bottles of wine?
Like 2 bottles of wine.
I'm like, I average about a beer every half hour.
Nick
That's what I
has-
try to do if I'm going out, you know.
I mean, how big of a bottle?
Nick has instead of the hat, the captain, he has a beret with 2 bottle holders in it. When
2 bottles of wine.
The hose that comes down to his mouth.
I cracked open a 1.5 liter bottle last night, and that's
Finished
empty.
it?
Yeah.
You
Well,
finished
I wasn't by myself.
Were you like Johnny Depp? And
Where's that pour?
I gotta do the show tomorrow.
No, so the carbonation in the beer really
Where's the
starts to fill you up.
cereal?
Yeah, it's the carbonation. You get filled.
Oh, okay.
And then when you get filled, I think it makes sex less appealing. You're all
I would agree,
bloated, you
Because
know?
you're burping and farting.
Kinda. Yeah.
Do you remember that the video of Hulk Hogan? He kept going on about he had just eaten. He felt like a pig. He was full, and he was having
so fat, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have sex now.
You look good, baby.
I don't feel good. I feel bloated.
Let me see here.
And in the background is Bubba the Love Sponge. Go do it.
Yeah. Yeah, some people are taking, like somebody said, 3 beers and 2 shots of Jameson. Perfect.
Special, no pun intended, concoction that gets it done.
Yeah. I never really thought about it that way, but I guess it's out there. But they're saying, yes, instead of alcohol, although it may get you to the party.
Have you ever used like a horny goat weed? We talked about Viagra. We've all
herbal remedies and things like. Nah, I don't believe in those at all. I don't even believe in quote unquote aphrodisiacs.
Yeah,
oysters and.
What about amnesiacs?
Guys don't need aphrodisiacs. We just need a hand or a mouth, and we're good.
Yeah,
right.
And then if it's a girl,
right?
Right. What happened to the other parts?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, just to get us started.
Anything.
Yeah.
No, I'm at a certain point though. The warranty comes due, and you may need some assistance.
Hand or a mouth and produce, whatever.
The hand is stupid. Use the produce.
Yeah. I saw a root from a tree that looked like a vagina the other day.
Perfect. Did you bang it?
No.
It was still
playing
on the
golf.
tree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fellas,
Turn them on.
Give me a few seconds. I'm gonna go bang this tree.
Radio personality arrested banging a tree.
Why did you do that to me?
It's like Lord of the Rings. Two Towers.
Oh my God.
This guy just tried to have me sexually. He banged the knot behind me. Scared the owl that was living in it.
That is the first time we've ever had a talking tree.
Seriously?
On the show.
Is that what they sounded like on
in Lord of the Rings? Yeah.
They had deep voices, yeah.
Huge, big voice. And
what you doing back there, buddy?
The owl.
You scared the owl living in my knot. That's my knot sack.
Well done. Well done.
Oh, Samwise, we just had a threesome with a pine tree. I'll be pulling splinters out of my sack for years to come.
By the way, did you see the guy who won the gold medal in last year's springboard? Last Olympic springboard?
No.
The dude from Russia failed a dive yesterday.
How did he do? What did he do?
He belly flopped. So.
By the way, Casey, can you do that new prep that they do?
No.
What is that?
I don't know.
It looks like they're tripping.
Please explain.
All right. So before, when Kathy and I were diving, you would have like a 3 or a 4 step approach, a crow hop, a jump,
as you're leading into the dive, you do 1, 2, 3. Bam, up.
Right.
All right, so when you're
Casey's going to demonstrate
that's
this
called
in the studio.
Prep. All right.
So now they have this thing where it's like 1, 2, skip.
Yeah, that's what they do. I've tried it in my living room. I will admit this, and I can't quite get what they're doing.
Me neither. I don't know why they do it.
Is it the Dorothy skip from The Wizard of Oz?
We could do that, Steve. We could.
Yeah,
be on the Olympic team.
How would you skip, Kathy? What would be your skip?
I mean, I would just do the traditional skip, right leg, left leg.
Let's time you.
It would be hard. What, all the way down the hall?
Yeah,
down the hall.
You have to do a lap, right?
No.
Do
Do it down the hall.
That's European style.
This is your starting point right here.
All right, Olympic skipping.
All right.
You want me to go first?
So,
okay.
Olympic skipping. Do we need a video crew for this? Hold on. Okay. All right.
All right. There's your starting point.
All right. Skippers, take your mark. Set. Go. And she's off. She's skipping down the hall, and she looks happy while doing it. So now she's coming back. Here we go.
No.
Push it. Push it. Go. Time.
All right.
Wow.
You going to try it or no?
Yeah.
I was going to use Wizard of Oz method, but...
Hey, it's just like diving. Whatever your approach is, man.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Watch out down the hall.
All right.
There's people cheering for us.
All right.
Here he goes. He's warming up.
Yep, he's doing.
Get limber.
All right. Do your Michelle Jenneke dance. All right. Skippers, take your marks. Set. Go. All right, and he's off. He's off. Oh my God, he's doing this double skip.
Now he skips like
Steve. Oh my God, does he look insanely? He looks way too happy while doing that. He should be coming around the corner any second now, around through the kitchen, and here he comes. He's doing the double skip. All right, I think he's not going to beat your time, Kathy. And time.
Wow. Double footing it.
Oh, yeah.
double footer.
You crushed it.
I got the gold.
All right, let's do one more because Nick wanted to take you on, and we'll see if he can beat the.
Nick's wearing sneakers. Kathy was going barefoot.
Yeah.
That's a different approach, too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I was double skipping and I screwed it up.
Nick's loosening up. Okay. And Skipper, take your mark. Set. Go! And he's off. And he is skipping furiously.
He's a terrible skipper.
He might actually get injured.
Yeah, you're right.
He's going to be our injury for sure.
Yes. Let me know. All right, here he comes around the corner.
Wait a second, he might win.
About to cross the finish line and across. Time.
Close. 16.67 seconds.
What?
Kathy retains the gold.
Thank you.
Damn it! Oh my God! Okay.
Wow, I thought he had you. Olympic skipping. I'd say that's definitely an event down the road.
Try doing that. Try doing it Wizard of Oz style.
I might go with
that was
it.
pretty
I
awesome.
might start training.
I think I can beat you.
Can you beat my time? Well, are you doing it Wizard of Oz or straight
No,
ahead?
I'm doing straight ahead skipping.
Clearly, Wizard of Oz is not the way to go.
But funnier.
Was it funnier?
Yes.
All right.
It did look good, Steve.
All right, watch out, Marilyn.
Watch out, Marilyn.
All right, here we go.
Come on, we're competing.
Skippers, take your mark. Set, go.
All right, Preston's off, and he is. Well, he is. No, wait a second. He looks like a charging gorilla.
Is he just running?
He's just running. He's no.
No, he was
What?
skipping.
What
He was
is that? Are you kidding?
Oh my God, dude.
You look like a charging gorilla.
Wow. We have set so many world records in the past couple of weeks. You shattered the world record, Preston.
What?
With a time of 13.6.
Yes. All right. Do me again with my new method of skipping.
Okay.
Oh,
man.
I think I hurt my ankle.
Oh, you're the injury?
Yeah.
My new method of skipping.
Okay. Steve, you want your tags on?
Olympic skipping.
Okay, all right.
Ow.
Okay.
All right, Skipper, take your mark. Set and go. He's off. Oh, he's running. He's absolutely running. And here he comes. And
Yes!
Wow.
That was my new method of skipping.
New world record.
Hey!
no, he broke his gait.
He got DQ'd?
He got DQ'd. I was skipping. What do you mean?
I will say the turns were a little difficult.
Yes.
Yeah, they were.
So
Yes.
Frank, Spoon Man appears on some Frank Zappa stuff. At this age, he's probably using orthopedic spoons, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
If they make those, yeah. In addition to the spoons, he plays flute and recorder.
But the spoons get the attention.
And they get the attention. So, yeah, he's a street performer. So, interesting. But 73 years old.
There you go.
Still alive, the Spoon Man. All right. I noticed some things.
Oh, my God.
That I thought might be worth sharing. No, that's not the noser. See, I told you Casey labels these things.
All right.
And we can't really tell what they are because on
This one letter.
Kind of like it.
I know. It's good. I like the different things happening.
I forgot what this was for, what we used that for.
It's not the stream of consciousness, or that's a different one.
No. All right, I don't know.
We're going to roll with this until I find the other one.
It's the Stranger Things theme, in case you did not know that.
Now featuring a new theme.
It should be on here, Marissa. By the way, Casey is out today, if you did not notice.
That's right. You even noticed that. We're not even into the segment, and you've already noticed.
You're right. Hang on a second. Oh, there it is.
There it is. Back where it belongs, the theme to the notice show. Now you notice that it's playing, and it's the right theme.
It is.
That's two things you've noticed.
And here's another one. The
third.
The last person who was convicted of witchcraft in the Salem witch trials remained on the books and just had her name cleared this past Thursday when the Massachusetts Senate signed off on a measure first proposed by a local middle school student.
She's got to feel fantastic.
She
that
does.
This is finally, off of her record, and can now get back and get it. It must have been difficult getting a job when you've been accused of being a witch.
Elizabeth Johnson Jr. was convicted of witchcraft in 1693 in the now infamous witch hunt, in which 19 people were hanged and one man crushed to death by rocks.
You ever see that process that they
have? Yeah,
they put a plank on the person and load and basically
one at a time they put a stone on there.
If you die, good news, you weren't a witch.
Yeah. If you die, you're innocent.
Yeah, because certainly you would say you were a witch.
So it was
it's like the dunking stool.
Pathetically flawed.
But a good lawyer would get you off with smaller rocks, Preston.
So she was condemned to death but never executed, this woman, Elizabeth Johnson, but she was the last on the books.
So she did have a good lawyer.
The legislation clearing her name 329 years later was advocated by students at North Andover Middle School who had researched the case and how to get Johnson exonerated.
Have you been accused of witchcraft? At Jebediah, and Jebediah. We'll take your case anytime, day or night.
Oh. They're not licensed in our state.
Sorry, Tennessee.
Yeah. That was Jebediah,
Right.
Jebediah.
and Jebediah.
Okay.
You know we're lawyers because we're all wearing pilgrim hats. The American West really hadn't embraced the cowboy hat at this time.
By 1711, all the other people who had been convicted but not executed had had their names cleared.
And of course that you've watched documentaries on the whole the Salem witch trials and how it was basically some snippy girls who kicked it all into full throttle and started accusing people and basically held that town in terror as they, went about doing what they were doing.
It's incredible what fanaticism can cause people to do. In recent years, residents of Salem and surrounding towns like North Andover have made efforts to honor those wrongfully executed in the witch trials.
Yeah, thanks.
In which hundreds of people were accused in a frenzy of Puritan injustice, stoked by superstition, fear of disease and strangers, scapegoating, and petty jealousies. In 2017, Salem unveiled a new memorial of stones engraved with the names of the 19 people who were hanged in the city 325 years before. And last October, the eighth graders in North Andover Middle School, teacher Carrie LaPierre, civics class, made headlines as they pushed to pardon Elizabeth Johnson. The students are also set to be featured in an upcoming documentary telling Johnson's life and story.
Are there ancestors, that they know of? Have they?
Good question. I'm not really sure. That maybe, are pushing the
Or maybe
cause.
she didn't have any because she was a witch.
Yeah, maybe. You guys ever?
She was a witch.
You ever been to Salem?
Oh, God, yeah.
Is it cool?
I really love the area. I think it's
got
great.
A small town charm, or
yes,
what's
but
it
there's
like?
a ton of history. It's almost like if you're walking around, like in Philadelphia in certain spots, it has that look.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
and as you would imagine, haunted tours and
I'm
witch
sure.
stuff aplenty.
Yeah, I would like to explore a little bit more of Massachusetts. I've only been to Boston, but I wouldn't mind checking out places like Cape Cod and just to,
Cape Cod is, so I have spent a lot of time, and Cape Cod is gorgeous.
Is it?
I love it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about, what are the others, like Martha's Vineyard and what's the other?
Nantucket.
Nantucket.
Yeah.
I've been to Nantucket. I've never been to Martha's Vineyard.
Okay.
The Berkshires are in Massachusetts on the western part of the state. The drive out to Cape Cod, while beautiful, is like the worst of the Jersey Shore traffic drive.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, because you have nowhere else to go.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
one
it.
road
Yeah.
that gets out to Provincetown, and it seems right.
a freaking nightmare.
Yeah.
It seems like it would be like driving the Keys or something like that,
Yep.
because you just have a narrow passageway and that's it.
I blame this on a witch.
If you're going on a holiday weekend or something, God help you.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
It was the trappic.
Yeah, thanks the witch for this one.
Yeah.
We need to burn some people now.
Call Jebediah, and Jebediah. Don't use a phone. They're not really around yet, so just scream out your window.
Mm-hmm. We'll come right away. All right. Let me see. I noticed this other story, which I think you guys will enjoy. And there was an actual study that was done.
The noticer's noticed a story he thinks we're going to enjoy.
Psychologists from the State University of New York at Oswego
Yes.
looked at how heterosexual men and women perceived women with nipple erections.
All right.
In part one of the study, participants were shown randomized slides with two sets of identical pictures of women except for the fact that in some of the pictures, the women had erect nipples and some did not. The participants were then asked to rate the photographed women on a series of 16 emotional and psychological states, including positive, negative, and sexually aroused states.
Yeah.
To make sure that facial expression cues didn't influence participants, the faces of the women were obscured.
Okay.
So you just saw the nipples.
While the levels of nipple erectness were scored by independent raters, men and women were more likely to project positive emotions onto photographs of the women with erect nipples.
Yeah, of course, because they were smiling.
While, to the surprise of no one, men projected more sexy emotions onto the photos. Yes.
That's what you think. You always, the headlight, the high beams are on. That's the.
Oh, yeah. Now, part 2 of the study is finally out, and we have more info on the effect of erect nipples on heterosexual men. As it turns out, they'll go out. You have to say. Listen to this. Okay, so let me back up here. It is finally out. We have more info on the effect of erect nipples on heterosexual men, and it turns out they will go out of their way to be around them.
They will actually change their holiday plans to be around erect nipples.
In the sequel, which is called The Point of Nipple Erection 2, the effect of nipple erection on intended and expected altruism.
The ultimate sequel.
The team wanted to find out if these perceived emotional states have an effect on male behavior. For example, the team writes, would men be more willing to assist women with nipple erection as opposed to those
Assist them how?
In whatever way.
Yeah.
So
you need me to rub your nipples?
As before, the heterosexual men were asked to rate pictures of women with and without nipple erections, as well as being asked a range of questions designed to test their change in attitude, such as, and here's your example, Steve, whether they would lend her $100.
I need to warm up my nipples, but I don't have enough money.
Help her if her car was broken down.
Oh, okay. I get what you're going. Okay.
Or provide tutoring sessions.
So women with erect nipples.
Tutoring.
Do you need any help with calculus?
Yes, I really need math help.
Yeah.
Look at my nipples.
Your eraser-sized nipples are protruding through your sheer blouse. Would you need any help with calculus?
Can you help me with my math homework?
I mean, it would work.
We talked.
It would totally work.
We've talked about 2 things here, no pun intended. The women who the faux erect nipples, and then also women who deal with prominent.
Yeah, they're always
like nipple caps, right?
Yeah.
That they can wear like inserts that suppress the erect nipple.
I dated a girl who had she had hard nipples all the time.
Yeah,
and they were pointy, very eraser-like nipples.
Right,
and had to wear padded bras all the time.
Yeah,
to
suppress them.
Taylor Robson was talking about it with us, wasn't she?
Yes, we were talking about gaffing tape and nipple tape, and
yeah.
You know you have an issue when they poke through an overcoat,
right? Mm-hmm. But could you see yourself walking up to a stranger that has hard nipples and say, "Hi,
here's $100.
I know a lot about the War of 1812.
Yes,
and I would like to tutor you on this."
Excuse me, I need to borrow money and I need some tutoring done.
Spectacular nipples. Would you like to learn about the Boer War?
Thank you.
So they go on to say in the study, men perceived women with nipple erection as more deserving of altruism.
Oh, okay.
Especially if that altruism involved greater interaction with the woman.
This is the worst study you've ever given information for on air.
And they expected these women to behave more altruistically toward them as well.
My nipples are very sensitive.
So, how do women perceive men with?
They didn't do that study.
Okay.
They only did.
That comes next year.
Women with erect nipples, and they also believe that the women with erect nipples should be included in their social
in Mount
groups.
Rushmore. they want Ruth Bader Ginsburg with her nipples.
Is there a correlation between breast implants and nipple hardness?
Oh, that's a good.
I've actually wondered that if that causes a more perpetual state. Is that your perception?
Well, I'm curious, and the reason I ask is I have a friend who had breast implants done, and she has a portion of her breast, just one of the breasts, that lost sensitivity entirely. There's literally like a portion of her of one of her boobs that you can't feel a thing, right?
Right.
But the nipples seem to be a little bit harder a lot of the time.
Ladies
I'm curious.
listening, if you've had breast implants and you feel that post breast implant operation that your nipples were harder more regularly or all the time, please call now. We'll send someone by your house here shortly to pick you up and bring you here.
To teach you calculus.
They can tutor you while they're there, too.
We're also doing a study.
Yeah.
215-263-WMMR. I am curious. Maybe there's something behind
Do you know
it.
what
Okay.
I noticed culturally and pop culturally speaking? The amount of nips you saw peeking through tops on shows like The Love Boat in the 70s and
Oh,
Charlie's
yeah,
Angels.
yeah.
That was constant.
Yep. Nope.
All the time. And now you'd be far less likely to see that in a show where they would let that get through.
Is that because that was post
Like
feminism with
It very well could be.
burn the
That
bra.
it was like the ERA and all that
Yeah.
stuff. And yeah, burn your nipples. Remember?
Remember?
Remember that?
Remember?
I'm gonna say, going back to the nipples after breast implants. Can you still breastfeed after you have breast implants? I think you can. And if that's the case, I would imagine then that it's not affecting the nipple.
All right. We'll see if we can get an answer. By the way, our phone lines are across the whole company are going wacky. We see all these people being put up on hold and then they disappear. So we're having some problems with this. So. Meanwhile, heterosexual.
It's the wrong time to have nipple chat.
Now, this is from the female perspective. Heterosexual women did not perceive the women with nipple erections as being more deserving of altruistic behavior and did not want to include them into their social groups.
So
look at her. She has hard nipples. Everyone,
That's hard
turn away
nipple
right now.
Nelly.
Oh,
Turn around.
Stay away from hard nipple Nelly.
Yeah.
I'm not hanging out with her.
So
She's always studying calculus for free because people offer up lessons to her.
I have hard nipples most of the time. I usually have erect nipples. You guys can see it
Yeah.
when I'm wearing a shirt, especially if it's you can't see
Let
this
me
one.
see.
Well, I'm wearing a logo on this shirt right now.
When you wear lingerie,
my nips are right here.
I can,
Kathy.
but I mean, that's kind of
stand up.
normal, yeah.
Can you see them?
Now lick your fingers.
No, I can't see them.
This shirt kind of hides them,
Yeah,
Preston.
so I will wear, especially depends on the blend of the shirt. Like if there's more like rayon or polyester or something like that in there, or one of those thinner like wind type shirts, you can see my high beams.
And you don't wear an
all the
undershirt?
time.
One massive man. Just huge nipples, man.
Huge nipples, man. No, I don't wear an undershirt.
You don't wear an
I think undershirts.
Oh
are stupid.
God, that notion is no. Forget it. There are guys who still put on a full undershirt under another shirt. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
You're over that?
Yeah. When I gave up my nipple rings.
We keep losing these calls, man. Hi, Jessica. You're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing well. I've had breast implants for 20 years. And
20
I
years?
I'm in.
Okay,
Yes.
so you're going to have some information for us,
please.
Yes.
All right.
So
How
I
about
got
the
my
nips?
implants- I got my implants around the areola,
Okay.
and my nipples are constantly hard.
Okay.
But I have 2 children that I breastfed, and there was no problem. Gynecologists approved it. Mine were under the muscle.
Okay.
And I never had a problem. But they're hard. But that was because I can't answer for somebody who had them like under the muscle. But I mean, they're puffy. Just like you said, they're a little bit of an eraser look.
Okay.
They're not like pointy and like cutting glass, but they're definitely visible.
Wait, a question.
So I have to wear a pad.
So you did or did not have these under the muscle?
They are under the muscle.
Okay. Is that usually the procedure? Because I don't know much about breast implants.
Nowadays, yeah.
I think that's the preferred methodology, right, Jessica? Is that under the muscle is the way that most people would want to get, most women would want to get that.
Nowadays, yes.
All right.
20 years ago when I got them done, you had the option. Now it's under the muscle for the most. Like I have saline. You could get silicone and stuff like that, but then they have that rippling effect. Because they can, and so most people just get them under the muscle nail.
Yep.
And they're all saline. And
Jessica, is there any change in the sensitivity to your nipples pre or post surgery?
mine are, yeah. Mine are so sensitive. Like if it's cold out, they actually start to hurt. If it's super cold, but they're super sensitive. But I know people that have gotten them done that they lose sensitivity 100%.
So when we're saying
mine are just like, I guess if you were getting your man area flicked.
Right.
And it would hurt and
Right.
like,
Balls.
give you
Yeah.
that sting. That's kind of what I would have. Like even just putting
Wow.
like, a tight shirt like in the winter.
That'll hurt.
It does.
So when you're saying under the muscle, I just want to be clear to make sure that I'm on the right page. You're talking about pectoral, not like your bicep, right?
No, the pectoral muscle.
Okay.
Some get it under the bicep.
No, but that's interesting. That level of sensitivity increases. And again, you say you're not speaking for everyone, but that actually to me would make sense because everything is sort of expanded out a little bit, right?
Sure, and they caught the areola. So I had 2 incisions on each areola.
Yeah.
And that's where they went in. So you can get them under the armpit. You can also get them under, they can make an incision under the breast tissue so that you have, like, that little smiley face it would look like under where the breast curve would be.
Okay.
I got mine around the areola. So
Yeah, you got
the
the
little scars there.
they call that
mine
the
are hypersensitive. And they told me when I was going in, you could lose 100% sensitivity or they could be super sensitive. And mine are definitely super sensitive.
Jessica, they call that incision the lollipop. You ever heard that before?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, they go around the areola.
And there's a little fuzzy stick that comes
out. No, there's a line that goes underneath that.
I know what you're talking about.
A little lollipop.
It was my understanding
Thank
that
you,
it's
Jessica.
at some point they were actually doing it. They would come up through the navel.
I didn't think that there were scars for breast implants. I thought it was
really
just
depends.
reduction.
It really depends on where the surgery is done. Like she was saying, like if they remove the areola sometimes and they'll do the surgery that way. Sometimes it's underneath the breast and can come in that way, and then sometimes it's at the armpit. So it really depends on the type of surgery that you've had done. And and
What
where.
about through your instep?
That's probably challenging. It's a long way to go there.
Yeah, they went into the balls of my feet.
It's not going through your feet.
Less scarring, though.
I'm going to go to Katie.
Who sees that?
Hi, Katie. You're on the air. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, what's up, Katie?
So I just wanted to chime in on the breast implants and nipple sensitivity. I had a daughter in 2016, and after that, my nipples were always hard because I breastfed for 2 years, and then I got breast implants under the muscle, cut underneath in 2020, and I have no feeling underneath where the scar is. I do have nipple sensitivity still, but other than that, like I could probably, get a whole tattoo under there and not feel anything.
Interesting. So Jessica, the caller earlier, was saying that on a cold, like a cold day in the winter, that they'll actually be a little bit painful. Do you experience that as well?
Yeah, so actually after the surgery, for about 2 weeks, my nipples were on complete fire.
Wow.
Like the surgery itself didn't hurt, my scars didn't hurt, but my nipples were burning.
That's a great Meatloaf album, Nipples on Fire. Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. So you felt like a constant, real, like a burning sensation.
Like someone was holding a match.
Wow. God almighty.
How long did that last?
A couple weeks. It was like almost unbearable.
Well, were you apprised, do you feel, of that potential sufficiently before you went in for the procedure?
No, none of the burning. I mean, my nipples were always hard, I guess, from breastfeeding. But then after the surgery, it lasted about 2 weeks. But now, like I said, I don't have any sensation underneath, but I do still have sensation in my nipples, and I should be able to breastfeed if I were to have a child again.
All right. Well, so in retrospect, would you do it again?
Probably not.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Interesting.
Thank you.
Thanks for your call. We appreciate it. Here's another receiver of breast implants. It's Karen. Hi, Karen. Good morning. Or no, she had a reduction. I'm sorry. Hi, Karen.
Hi. Yeah, I had a breast reduction. And the procedure that they had done was considered like an anchor procedure. Then after that, the nipples seem to be erect more often than not, probably 90% of the time.
Wow.
And are more sensitive. And then underneath, only on my left breast, underneath the nipple, I lost a little bit of sensitivity.
So the sensitivity is prominently on the left breast. Is that the breast that reads more of the Nicholas Sparks novels?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Karen, you said an anchor procedure. Is that what you said?
Yeah, so it kind of looks, the surgery, the way they cut it, actually looks like an anchor.
Oh, I
So
know.
it's
An anchor, starting with A,
anchor.
not I.
I thought anchor.
Yeah.
Anchor.
Anchor.
It's the mayor of Fraggle Rock.
I got you.
Anchor. No, she's and I've seen documentaries on like if you watch the show Botched about the botched plastic surgeries. they show that it's a mark down the bottom of the breast and then hooking out the way the bottom of the anchor would as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
All right. And happier since you got your reduction?
Oh my gosh, way happier.
All right.
Can I ask what size you went from and to?
Went from a size F and now a size B.
Oh, okay. Wow.
There you go.
Have you had improvements in like back pain and things along those lines?
Yes. That was the whole reason of getting the procedure, was to reduce the back pain. And it hasn't resolved it 100%, but definitely reduced it.
Do you find that more men are offering to tutor you now because of this stupid survey that seems to indicate that that's what happens?
I feel
go ahead.
that they want to play with them, so this way they can see if they'll grow back.
There you go.
All right. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate it. Wow. All right. Interesting.
I didn't know we were that affected by nipples.
I know.
The nipple is it's an important part of the body.
Yeah, it's a part of a healthy breakfast.
Well, all right. Wait. Hang on a second here. Sarah's got an interesting issue with her. Hi, Sarah. Good morning.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yo, just want to hear about your nipples.
It's nipple chat. The nipple master.
I actually had breast reduction surgery back in September, so I'm like less than a year out. And like the last caller was saying about the anchor, part of that is that they completely remove your nipples and like put them off to the side.
Right.
Like
yes.
pepperonis. Wow.
Yeah, like
okay.
little pepperonis, the forbidden pepperonis. So when they put mine back on, now I'm still healing, so I still have a lot of the numbness. Now one of mine goes hard and the other doesn't.
So they're reconnecting. So all of the nerves and all that, they reconnect that all, and it's a crapshoot.
It takes time to reconnect it. So like
it's amazing.
When that young lady was talking about that they were on fire, it's kind of like this weird like stomach turning sensation of like everything. It's not painful, but it's you're very aware of your boob in a way that is not fun.
It's funny, or let me see. To me, it seems strange that after all this time, they haven't developed a less invasive way to reduce the breast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's a pretty radical procedure.
Yeah, it's very, very gnarly. It wasn't so much painful because they had me all hopped up on meds.
Right.
But yeah, they took out 8 pounds of fatty tissue.
Wow. Yeah.
Damn, that's quite a bit.
Well, and I think the recovery is much longer for reduction than implants.
Yeah, I would say I was like in the bed for maybe like 3 or 4 days. But Kathy, I was at Target on day 5, babe.
Oh, good for you.
There you go.
Good for you. You are a strong
You're
woman.
like Chuck Yeager to Kathy now.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it.
I'm going to Target, damn it.
Right, well,
and I have I have more room in my blouse to steal things.
Women, apparently men are more apt to lend money, help out, and tutor women who have hard nipples.
Well,
how are you with repairing a slant 6 engine?
All right, I
so
noticed.
when you see women today rubbing their nipples before they go somewhere, that's why.
They just need some money. All right, let's see what else I
We learned
noticed.
a lot about nipples, but what else is the notice you noticed?
This is pretty interesting.
Buttholes?
No. God, I wish I had a butthole
Oh,
story
it'd be
to
so
share with
great.
you. That'd be great. No, archaeologists working near Cairo have uncovered hundreds of ancient Egyptian coffins and bronze statues of deities.
And about half of them are of Rocky.
These are, the statues are?
Pharaoh, I want to have another statue made.
I had no idea. The discovery.
This is an amazing find. I was reading about this.
At a cemetery in Saqqara contained statues of the gods Anubis, Ammon, Min, Osiris,
and Curly,
Isis, Nefertum, Bastet, and Hathor, along with a headless statue of the architect Imhotep, who built the Saqqara pyramid. The 250 coffins. Wow.
So are you, visiting Egypt is on my bucket list. I definitely want to go. I'm fascinated by what they find there. Does this whole realm and this whole time frame and the pharaohs and does that hold fascination?
Oh, very much so.
When they had the exhibit at the Franklin, some people going, I found it under. underwhelming. You're look at how old these things are and what they were doing. It's amazing.
I find that I am really ignorant when it comes to a lot of this knowledge too, because
me too.
Preston, you rattle off a whole bunch of names, and some of those names were actually featured in Moon Knight.
Yes,
and so they delved into sort of like the Egyptian gods in the Marvel version of it or whatever. And they were talking a lot about Egyptian mythology and things along those lines. I had no idea what the hell they were talking about.
I'm blown away by empires and societies and things that have that disappeared, that went away.
Yes,
it's unbelievable because these, some of them are, lasted hundreds, maybe 1,000 years. And were strong and big and metropolis, but and
others were just flashes.
But they just fell.
Yeah, Empire Records. How long did that last?
I don't know,
It's
Marissa.
very short.
Very little time.
Very short run.
But very impactful.
But no, you're right. And also the things that they pulled off, they still don't fully understand how they were able to remove organs and mummify bodies the way they did back then. It's still an enigma.
So the 250 coffins, 150 bronze statues, and other objects dated to the late period, about 500 BC.
That's pretty late.
They were accompanied by a musical instrument known as a sistrum.
Sistrum. So that is the Egyptian version of the keytar.
And a... The acoustic version of the keytar.
What was the equivalent of hair metal back in?
They also found a collection of bronze vessels used in rituals for the worship of the goddess Isis. The painted wooden coffins were found intact in burial shafts and contain mummies, amulets, and wooden boxes.
So we're just talking about burial shaft.
That's it. Just talking about that. Shut your mouth. Wooden statues of
Nefertiti?
Nope. Of Nephthys and Isis from an earlier period were also found, both with gilded faces.
This is, you could have entire multitudes of life careers based around examining what they just found.
One coffin contained a well-preserved papyrus written in hieroglyphics, perhaps verses of the Book of the Dead, and was sent to the laboratory of the Egyptian Museum in Cairo for study.
And the other one was filled with springy snakes, Preston.
Oh,
it was a novelty.
coffin. A collection of cosmetics was found, including coal containers as well as bracelets and earrings. It says coal containers, Kohl.
Okay.
Like coals.
Like the
yes,
store?
like coals.
Store.
So in Egyptian mythology, Nephthys was the daughter of Geb, earth, and Nut, sky. So when they would bust a nut, that had to do with the sky.
Geb and Nut.
Geb and Nut, and the sister of Isis.
Okay.
Isis got the best name of the lot.
Yeah, I think so.
This is Geb and this is Nut. This is Schmutz and this is Dickhead.
Schmutz.
And Isis. Schmutz, Dickhead, and Isis. Guess which one's the favorite?
The museum in Cairo, the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, is going to be taking a look at all of this stuff. So the Cairo Museum is one of the greatest museums in the world, if I
absolutely
recall correctly. Yeah.
Are you fascinated by the legend and the lore surrounding curses? About
no, I personally I find all that stuff to be a bunch of hooey.
Yeah, and hokum
as well. I think that I find more interesting the booby traps and things like that they said. You
guys know that, right? That a lot of these places have these hidden, like Indiana Jones style, right?
Yeah, and the engineering of the ancients and stuff like that. I find interesting. I find the religion side of things interesting in that all of these people believed for all this time in one particular thing,
right?
And now that thing is looked upon as ridiculous, and yet thousands and thousands, maybe millions of people believe that and went to their grave believing that. And it makes me, question religion now and around the world and what people believe.
What I thought was an interesting deal is that when a pharaoh would pass, the attendants,
they'd kill them.
They'd kill, and bury them with them. Yeah, and even the pets.
They need servants in the afterlife world. So it's some strange
Get my
stuff.
slippers.
But I am interested to see. I mean, that volume, that many mummies and crypts and all that, it's pretty wild. All right, so something else I noticed, totally
more from the noticer.
Removed
from nipples to Egyptians.
Yes, and now we're going to old people with robots.
This is the worst scenario you could possibly have. because they're pissed off. You didn't get them the pudding.
And they steal their pension checks, right? Yeah.
Right.
Or their medication.
The medication.
Yeah.
They eat their medication.
Yeah. The state of New York will distribute robot companions to the homes of more than 800 older adults.
Is it going to be the Boston Dynamics dogs?
They are not. No. The
killbots?
That terrifying thing running around your apartment. No. The robots are not able to help with physical tasks.
Well, what good are they?
Well, they function as more proactive versions of digital assistants like Siri or Alexa, engaging users in small talk, helping contact loved ones, and keeping the track of the health goals like exercise and medication.
They couldn't include a wiping feature?
I know, but...
I can't reach back there.
But, Steve, they've programmed these things to have small talk with old people. So
This weather, right?
You've got a little robot that...
I don't feel. How do you feel?
yeah. Oh, it's got...
Oh, my God, my transistors are killing me. I don't feel so good. What was in that pork?
You just had a chip full out the other day, and it's not feeling the same.
They're showing here, actually, this is the... So they're sort of testing this Amazon Buddy thing, which is basically Alexa on wheels.
Right.
But has a quote-unquote personality to it.
Right.
The other day I said to Alexa, I said, you do a great job. And it went, woohoo!
Okay. The scheme is being organized by the New York State Office of the Aging and is intended to help address the growing problem of social isolation among the elderly.
Which is understandable.
Very much so,
What they
yeah.
really are, they're killbots meant to get rid of the... right?
You are of no value.
An estimated 14 million Americans over the age of 65 currently live alone. And
You are a drag on society.
And this figure is projected to increase over the next decade as the boomer generation ages. Studies have suggested that long-term loneliness is as damaging to an individual's health as smoking.
Do you remember that Twilight Zone episode where they replaced, there was a robotic version of the grandmother, the beloved grandmother, and like Isaac Asimov, they got into all these. It actually was a nice story. It didn't end with the grandmother ripping the kid's head off, but it was I could see for loneliness, but are we setting ourselves up for? Well, the robot's got it. We don't need to go visit. You still need actual human to human contact.
Oh yeah.
If you turn it over to your Roomba to take care of grandma, that maybe the carpets will be clean, but she's going to be upset.
The director of the Office for the Aging, Greg Olson, says that the robots named LEQ and built by Israeli firm Intuition Robotics could help tackle this growing health problem by encouraging independence among older adults.
Yes, I have one of those LEQs, and my question is, how do I hump the frickin' thing?
You're doing it wrong.
We need to consider the various personalities of aging people out there.
My ding-dong won't fit in the USB port.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
I mean, loneliness takes on many different levels. That's it.
Studies have suggested that. No, I already read that part. So yes, they said it could help tackle this growing health problem by encouraging independence among older adults living alone and providing companionship. It is a proactive tool, according to the director, and remembers the interactions with the individual, focuses on health and wellness, stress reduction, sleep, hydration, etc.
Yeah.
And it focuses on what matters to individuals: memories, life validation, interactions with friends and family, and promotes overall good health and well-being.
Think about what we are. Think about we're collections of memories, right? I mean, what are we? Our crude, accumulated life experience is what we are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and then every day that informs what is our personality and our, all of that stuff. So it is computer and machine like, but then again, computers and everything were always designed to mimic what we do anyway. So we're sort of like meeting around on the other side of the circle.
LEQ consists of two parts attached to a single base. The first part is a lamp-like face with a microphone and speakers that lights up and swivels to face
Where do I put it in?
and to face people that it's talking to. The second is a touchscreen tablet used to display pictures, additional information, and conduct video calls. The unit has been deliberately designed to appear more robotic than humanoid in order to better focus attention on its conversational ability.
Show me Jenna Jameson.
This guy has a very specific set of
I'm
needs.
very lonely.
LEQ.
LEQ.
He's saying it like it's Alexa. Yeah, LEQ.
Show me Jenna Jameson. Show me fisting stuff.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
And make me a rhubarb pie.
All those things.
Oh God.
Refill my butterscotch candy tray.
Intuition robot. Intuition. Intuition Robotics' claim is that LEQ can project empathy and form bonds with the users. The robot is supposed to remember key details about a user's life and shape its character to their own.
I will never forget what you did to me.
It will crack more jokes if the user tends to laugh a lot, for example. With Casey, it would be all those old dad jokes, probably. Media reports suggest that the robot can certainly endear itself to people. LEQ has been in development for many years, by the way, with Institution Robotics, conducting dozens of home trials to hone its functionality. But the real test will be widespread deployment. So they're going to hand out 800 of these.
So this is like Blade Runner, with the replicants. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't give your grandfather or your grandmother Roy Batty from Rutger Hauer, but they at a certain point, like in that Philip K. Dick novel, the original novel, the question is, when does it become a living thing? When does it become so? If a grandparent or somebody who's older develops a real relationship, where their companion day in and day out is a machine, that opens up a whole new thing.
You know what movie I found interesting? It kind of flirted with that stuff was Bicentennial Man.
Yes,
with Robin Williams.
It's better than you would think.
I like that film, and one of the things it explores is the uncanny valley thing,
right?
Where people hated him, this robot, because of its humanoid appearance,
right?
And they were like, "It's a thing. It's not a." And yet other people were treating it as if it were, an entity.
Well, AI, the movie itself, it does exactly that. I mean, the kid, the robotic replicated kid, for all intents and purposes, is a kid. Is a real kid.
So this is basically used as a tool, though. It's $250 upfront fee and then $30 monthly service charge. Buying the robots outright would be able to relocate them more easily if you do that. So thought that was interesting.
It's not that expensive.
And thought it was worth passing along. That's all I have time to notice right now.
Notice is noticing he's leaving.
Done. I'm out of here. Dropping the mic. I'm gone. After nipples and robots and Egyptians and mummies and stuff.
And this kind of thing.
What do you want?
With the nipples and the robots.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. Tuesday. Don't forget, text word tattoo to 39333. You might win a $350 gift certificate from Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. We'll be back in a moment.
I know. I think I had a look of intensity on my face.
All right. I stumbled across this. It might have been late last week, and I didn't get a chance to bring it up to you guys. But Panda Express has come out with a new tool. I wish Bobby Lee was still here. A new tool that could forever change how we eat Chinese food, eat Asian food in general, because the chain may soon be introducing a chork or a chopsticks fork hybrid in its restaurants.
All right, how good are you at chopsticks?
I'm real good at chopsticks.
I'm pretty good. I don't eat a lot of Asian food.
My whole family is good. We just started in, just for fun, because I think it's just a thing that culturally it's kind of neat to see how,
once you got it, you got it.
Those. Yeah, and once you get it, it takes a little practice. The only one, my daughter, she still uses the little kid chopsticks that they make with the rubber band and the little thing.
Has a little spring action.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. You want to get good at chopsticks? Get a bowl of peas and just start.
Yeah. Try to pick those out.
That's how you get good.
I'm good at it. I'm pretty decent at it to where I can eat rice, noodles, stuff like that. No, rice is a bitch. It's tough to scoop it under and get it all to stay in one bit on your rice.
It is.
You can do it.
Besides, if you see hardcore, Asian restaurants and people who are Chinese restaurants, there's a scooping process.
There's a little bit, for sure, yeah. But they want to do this chork thing.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
It's for Americans.
Yeah,
I know.
That's weak sauce.
I have a chadle, which is a ladle and a chork.
A chork and a ladle?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you use that for?
Conversation.
All right.
I have no idea how to use chopsticks.
No kidding.
No idea. Can't. It frustrates me. I don't eat a lot of Chinese food, I will say, but still, I mean, I've tried, and I just can't do it.
This is
Jace is better than me.
You will think I am being weird with this, but it involves male genitals to practice.
I don't see the correlation.
All right. I'm just suggesting.
Why
But
don't you
you
show her
already
off
passed.
here?
Yeah.
Kathy, you should practice with it. And
I've tried. Well, I probably should.
you've done the Kathy version of try.
Do you know what happens though?
Ew, this is gross. I'm stopping.
Well, it's not
deference
gross.
to
I just
you,
don't know how to do it.
A lot of
Ooh,
times
I don't like it. I can't do it.
Ew, this is like the hand. I don't get it. Kathy, sometimes they make inferior chopsticks that are far too thin. I like a little girth on my chopsticks. Do you agree, Preston?
Yeah, they do make some that are heavier.
Right.
As well.
Got a little weight to them, yeah.
The ones that are not just the real, yeah. Yeah, Kathy.
Yeah.
I'll show you how to do it.
What's happening?
I know,
No,
but
you're not doing it right.
But you're not doing it.
I'm using a fork.
And there she goes. She's done. And
Use
there
the
it is.
channel. It'll get you from England to France very quickly.
All right. So anyhow, they might be doing this thing. Basically, what it looks like is a fork on one end instead of one piece. One handle that comes out the other end of the fork, it splits out into two pieces, and it's plastic, so I assume you can just kind of squeeze it and use it that way. So, yeah, everybody's got their own little technique of chopsticks. You do it like that? I do mine a little bit differently.
What do you do?
Here, can I see those pencils, Carter?
Yeah, so I use the index finger and the thumb, and I use the clamping motion is done by lowering the index finger.
I do it like this.
You're a little different than me, Steve, but similar approach.
I anchor it on my ring finger, the bottom one.
Yeah,
okay.
right.
Ring finger like that. Yeah.
That's kind of what Casey, I think you and I are pretty similar.
Pretty similar.
Kathy, you nailed it.
Oh my God, you're more.
Do you?
Jesus Christ. You'd starve to death. We'd be visiting you
Maybe I should
in a
eat with chopsticks.
Chinese hospital. I can't eat. I can't eat anything.
God, how'd you lose so much weight?
I started eating with a chopstick.
This might be a great idea. I think if I start eating
Yeah, yeah.
everything with chopsticks.
It's a total body workout.
So
Chopsticks.
anyhow, it's called a chork. There's something else that's going on today, and we touched on it a little bit at the end of the show yesterday because I didn't realize it's the big day for Marissa.
Yeah.
Dinner on Blanc is taking place.
Yeah.
Do you follow Marissa on Instagram?
Yes, I do.
She's been posting all sorts of dinner on Blanc shots.
I want to know, how do you get invited to this?
Oh, God,
Somebody will come up to you. Just
Come
stand out there. You are coming to a dinner on Blanc. There's your envelope. There will be a DNA reader outside the subway station.
A DNA.
You. What is your name? You're a little girl. Marissa? I like you. You amuse me. We'll see you tonight at dinner on Blanc. Bring one chair, one table with a tablecloth. Of course, all Blanc. You do know what Blanc means, don't you?
That's part of the test.
Yeah, it's part of the test. Yeah.
Yes, you do know.
I'm not denying that
You're
it's
delightful. All right, I'm not letting you come unless you twirl around until you faint.
How do you get invited?
So you join the group. Since I've done it since the beginning, I'm in there's layers that you join in. I get to sign up in the first group. There's 3 groups, so there's a long waiting list. And they send you an email that says it's open.
It's going to be a wonderful time.
But listen, no.
At 10 o'clock at night, we're going to poke a fat woman with a stick.
Oh God!
Listen, it's all part of it. They do that to make it so that it's it's special that you get invited, but you're not going to not get invited if you want to go.
Are you sure?
Well, there is a waiting list.
See?
But they say there's a waiting list, but they want to make this as big as possible.
Lauer, did you say? We're booked up. Why don't you take your string and silly putty? Did you say Juniata Park? Is that a place? Is that an amusement facility?
Can you bring Gary Lauer with you tonight, please?
You should bring Gary Lauer. Bring Gary Lauer in plaid.
This would be the last dinner on Blanc ever.
Fidelio.
with a kilt and no underwear on. Look at my balls.
Jesus.
Look at my balls.
Those are white.
Yeah.
Hey, Marissa,
My balls are Blanc.
Kathy found this video of a group of people. They look like, dancers or something along those lines, doing
they're clearly dancing.
this perpetual motion exercise of sorts. And you keep doing this loop over and over and over.
All right.
There's no way we're going to be able to do this.
Well, also because everyone, save for height, is about the same weight.
But not only that, I just think the mechanics of it.
It's hard.
You got to coordinate.
We're skippers.
Yeah, man.
The only thing that I'm a little worried about is how will we start?
That's the only thing you're worried about?
Let's do it.
I'm worried about the number of ankles that are broken. And
It's like Beastmaster.
Oh, it is?
It's Beastmaster.
All right, I got to scratch my nose. Hang on.
What did you do?
Slapped him in the face.
They just smashed their faces just by scratching your nose.
Oh, my God. You made me punch myself in the face.
Wait a second.
Dick.
Just to appreciate this, we haven't even. All he did was scratch his nose, and 2 people are injured. We haven't even done the move yet.
This is never going to work.
I went up to scratch my nose, and Casey assisted my arm by shoving his forearm up, which my hand was attached to, and I popped myself right below the eye.
Oh, this is going to be a disaster.
I'm going to have a black eye.
I can't. It's working.
I can't. You got to come up.
It's working.
You got to come up.
Casey,
there it is.
Nick,
There it is. I got it.
It worked. It worked.
It started to.
I'm still standing.
It started to.
I thought we were going this way.
No! All the way down, Marissa. Let your weight pull her. And there it goes.
Wow, that was unbelievable.
In time.
All right, so the issue is go.
See? Here we go. Now you gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta move.
Almost. It's
Nick was just observing.
That was perfect.
That was the closest
It was
so
close.
far.
And you know what it really
Nick
was?
sleeping at the wheel.
It was.
I thought we were just trying 3 people.
Lean down. That's it. And to the left. Here we go.
Casey, put your feet
Now we're going. Now we're going.
Hold me.
Dude, it's working. It's working. It's working.
I give up. I give up.
We
I did it.
That was. Yeah. Are you kidding? And in motion, a flowing human river. It's sort of working.
Keep going.
It's just a sea of bodies writhing. It basically looks like a bad orgy. This looks like an inept orgy. This looks like, you know what it looks like? That looks like remedial gym class. Serving, rolling, it's working. And again, remedial gym class.
Oh, my hands are in the air.
And Kathy's head is resting on Preston's ass. Casey's dead, and Marissa's crying.
Is your shin broken?
There's severe injuries, and Nick is just standing there as if he showed up to class late and doesn't know what to do.
I don't encounter people with headphones in, other than around here.
Do you know
at work? I don't encounter them that often.
When I'm out, when I go on my hike, or when I'm taking
commercially in the United States while on probation. So on April 2nd of last year, or this year actually, during a Southwest Airlines flight from Seattle to Phoenix, McGarity exposed himself while other passengers sat next to him in the emergency exit row. McGarity also pleasured himself several times.
Passengers on the left side of the plane can look back and see a man pleasuring himself in front of the lavatory door.
The passenger sitting beside McGarity reported the incident to a flight attendant who then informed Phoenix police and FBI agents on the ground. Immediately upon landing, McGarity was arrested and charged with committing a lewd, indecent, or obscene act while on the aircraft.
Thanks for flying with us today, folks.
In addition to this offense, McGarity has several prior state and local convictions for lewd and lascivious conduct.
What's his feeling about hard nipples?
We should ask him about that. I'm sure he's got a thing to say. All right, we only have time for maybe 2 here. We got a break. But restaurant diners were left shocked after they spotted a raunchy couple having sex in full view on a cliff ledge opposite of the restaurant. Yep, it's going around. The pair were spotted doing the business just meters away from the popular coast path above them.
I'm going to shoot.
Pictures taken from the Hooked on the Rocks restaurant show the couple completely naked and locked in a compromising position as walkers enjoyed the afternoon stroll just feet away.
And they're right on the cliff edge.
The diner explained that one couple was a bit annoyed, but the rest of us found it hilarious. They added an older couple in their 70s were cracking us all up. They couldn't take their eyes off of them. At first sight, we thought probably yoga, but then my partner zoomed in on her phone and we confirmed what we really thought they were doing. And my partner was shocked at how long they were going. They were still at it when we left.
Wow.
So they were out in the open, just banging away. And
Something about that fresh air, right?
Clearly see them. And there's pictures of them. We're looking at them right now. And yes, Steve, they're on a cliffside. It's crazy. All right, sorry to keep it short, but in the interest of making sure that our sponsors get their proper time,
yes,
we have to take a quick break. We will be back in a moment. We will test your knowledge of today's program. Lesson question, trash, music news. Those things are coming up next. Make sure you stay with us.
I don't talk to them. I will. I do. The one thing that I do all the time, though, Preston, that drives me crazy, when I'm walking and someone is I will nod and smile, and I'll say, hi, how are you? And even without headphones, people just don't respond to that.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm a scary looking dude, but I'm being pleasant. I'm trying to be cordial and just, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
You know, but I rarely get a response.
Whenever I see somebody wearing headphones, you know, if it's on a plane or you know, wherever, I like to go, what are you listening to? What are you listening to? Yeah? People love that.
What are you listening to?
What are you listening to?
I have a perfect moment yesterday when Nick and I were leaving the building to go to Slash the Tires yesterday. God. We took the stairs.
Forgot to tell you guys this.
We took the stairs down.
Yeah.
And there was a guy coming up the other way, a flight up, and we were on the way down. We passed him on the stairs. Nick was wearing a purple shirt. I mean, like a bright purple shirt. And the other guy was wearing a bright purple shirt. And Nick goes, hey, it's Purple Shirt Day. And crickets, nothing out of this guy at all. And we started cracking up immediately. He just was not going to acknowledge Nick whatsoever. And I think he looked him in the eye and said it. And he just, nothing.
Is that weird, though? You look and say, how are you?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I was just being friendly. You know? Yeah.
Hi. Or just
looking for a smile.
Hey, yes. Yeah, I guess so. Even I would respond. And, and I would, yes, sure.
Not everybody is as gregarious and
gregarious. Gregorian monks.
Gregorian. Nobody chants quite like you do, Steve.
Today is Purple Shirt Day.
His head is in his hand.
Gregorian. Nobody's quite as gregarious as you.
Today is Purple Shirt Day.
Oh, God.
Gregarious is what you're thinking.
Oh, but I said gregarious. Okay, sorry. Oh, jeez, oh, man.
Buckingham Palace is now hiring. The Royal Household website has several job openings, including one for a full-time live-in housekeeping assistant.
Oh, there's a role for Anne Hathaway.
The listing reads, this is no standard housekeeping role. You'll work and live in stunning historic settings, ensuring that they're presented to their best for colleagues, guests, and, of course, the royal family. Aiming for the highest standards, you'll clean and care for interiors and items from carpets and furniture to historic vases and irreplaceable paintings.
All while constantly being reminded that you're lower-class filth.
You'll take care of guests and support special events, too.
You are, for all intents and purposes, a donkey.
And in an environment where development and training is commonplace, you'll be able to...
You are no longer a human being, you are a piece of mobile furniture.
You'll be able to grow your skills far beyond your immediate role. So the job pays only it pays about $22,000 a year.
It's prestigious, though, because once you leave that position, you are in demand.
But what's cool, too, is meals and housing is covered. So you live there and you get fed there as well. So
whatever the queen does not finish will go into a small tray, and you may pick at that.
They give you the scraps.
Yeah. Anything that falls upon the floor is yours as well.
I'm perfect for this job.
And once the royal corgis have finished with their calcan, you can go and eat that as well.
Royal corgis. You're second to the dogs.
Position will include occasional whippings.
The candidate will also get 33 vacation days.
Well, that's not too bad. Well, that's Europe for you.
Yeah, pension and access to recreational facilities. So you're only getting $22,000 a year, which you would think for that position it would probably be more. But housing, meals, 33 vacation days, pension, access to the recreational facilities, that ain't too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
That's
You'll
pretty good.
occasionally be called upon to provide sexual favors for the Queen Mama.
But yeah, this community down in Texas, there's a foot fetish guy who is targeting the real estate community, and that's where he's decided, these are the people that are easy to track down.
That guy's pretty threatening, though. I read the article.
Is he pretty threatening?
Yeah, like he says, I know where you are, and if you don't send them, you'll need protection 24 hours a day. That was one of the texts he sent.
Send pictures of your feet?
Yes, or
really?
Yeah.
That's a very malicious foot fetish dude.
Yeah, honest to God, I mean, if that started to happen, I would have to act like I was totally into it. Be like, oh my God, I want to.
Dude, I'll suck your feet.
I'll suck your feet. I want to meet you.
I'll suck your feet harder.
Because he
suck your feet so hard.
Suck your feet so you
So
can't
hard.
even you suck at sucking feet. I'm a sucking foot sucker.
Foot sucking machine.
I'm a sucking machine. Suck those nails right off your feet.
Right? All right, you're scaring me.
You've taken it too far.
Right? I mean, that's just sick, man.
You think you know how to suck feet? I'll show you how to suck feet, you foot sucker.
Suck those toenails right off. I'll suck every corn off your foot.
Oh, yeah, Stephen, suck that toe.
Suck
on
that
that
toe.
Suck it hard.
Suck that toe.
That's not how you suck it.
Let me show you.
I never thought I'd catch my daughter sucking a man's toe. But if you're going to do it right like this.
You foot sucker.
You foot sucker.
You're right, Casey. Turn it right back around on him.
Right?
Just out creep him.
Right.
If you possibly could. I wouldn't have the balls to do it though. There's no way.
Suck your feet. I'll suck up to you. I'll take your whole foot. I'll take it all the way up to your knee.
Up to the ankle.
No, yeah, I'll catch up with you later about that. All right.
Oh, hold up.
What? Whoa. What are you doing?
There's a Squirtle right there.
A what?
A Squirtle.
A Pokemon?
There's a
Pokemon?
Pokemon.
Oh, yeah? Where is he?
He's like
Where is he?
Like right by your balls.
Right here?
Yeah.
Right here?
Well,
I got him?
a little higher.
A little higher?
A little higher.
A little higher?
A little bit.
I
Keep
got
going.
him.
I'll get him!
Ow!
Did I get it?
You got him?
Got
All
him.
right, yeah! Woo!
It was Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul?
Right. So he tweeted yesterday that he had done this thing on Siri, which suddenly took off. It became
I want to hear this.
Right. So if you ask Siri to divide 0 by 0, it has a very bizarre response.
Okay.
And we have the audio.
All right, here we go.
Imagine that you have 0 cookies and you split them evenly among 0 friends. How many cookies does each person get? See, it doesn't make sense. And Cookie Monster is sad that there are no cookies. And you are sad that you have no friends.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. That's awesome. I love it.
So I showed that to my kids yesterday.
What are they doing?
They got a big kick out of it. And then
it works. It clearly works.
So now my son does this thing where he asks Siri, "Hey, call me. Hi, Grandma." Okay. And then.
That's amazing.
I don't know who you are, but you can tell me in Siri settings.
Oh, I didn't do it right.
That was good enough.
Try it again. Try it again.
Why don't you paraphrase what Siri will say?
It'll say.
Here, let me do it.
Hey, Grandpa. Maybe try not yelling it so excitedly. How about I try this? One that we're familiar with and won't drive you crazy. I have my phone right here.
Okay.
All right.
A common phone
and
that
so I
you might
asked
find in
Siri,
anyone's home.
I asked Siri to say this.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Siri, can you say, "Hey, everybody, it's good to have you on the Baba to Ba to Baba Badu Gaga Bapadop"?
Who, me?
And is that what happens?
No, it will repeat it. But all right, so I guess my kids have this.
Yeah, you whore. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, Casey, why did you throw "Hey Grandma" in there?
Because that's what my son was doing.
Oh,
yeah.
Have you ever asked it if it loves you?
No, but I've
I haven't.
Who, Siri?
We're better as friends. It
Really?
responded, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Siri, do you love me?
I'm still working on the grandma blah 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 crap.
All right, so anyhow, here we go. Here are a couple things. What is 0 divided by 0? You get an interesting answer. When is the world going to end?
Tomorrow.
Is the one to ask. What does the fox say? Which is, the song.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Hi, Grandma.
Grandma's here.
I'll give you. It has the answers here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Read me a haiku. Or no, I'm sorry. That's not the answer. This is an interesting question.
I asked you to do something for me.
Why? Don't give a rat's ass. Read me a haiku, or I'll shut off your heating system.
We want to welcome the following: Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Connor Barwin, and they brought with them a rookie. We have Jordan DeWalt on DJ. All right, hey.
Not bad at all.
Casey came up with this plan to have guys from the Eagles in, and we wanted to have offense and defense represented equally, which we have here, which is really cool. So if you guys don't mind, we'd like to play a version of The Family Feud. Starring the Philadelphia Eagles, offense against defense. All right, so here we go. First question. Name something you make sure to clean before going on a date. All right, Lane, what do you want?
Clean your teeth. I don't know.
Your teeth.
You brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth. Yes. Mouth. Mouth is the number one answer.
You guys.
So they automatically
control the topic.
You guys get to control the topic now. Okay. So Jason, name something you make sure to clean before going on a date.
Armpits.
Armpits. Nope. Sorry. That is
okay.
answer.
One more
strike.
Yep.
Okay, and let's go back to you, Lane. Name something you make sure to clean before going on a date.
Maybe your room if she's coming back or he's coming back.
That's
Let's check.
thinking.
Survey says. No, incorrect.
Terrible.
That means we go over to Connor and to Jordan, and they're discussing this right now. Name something you make sure to clean before going on a date. Remember, we polled Preston and Steve show listeners. Jordan, what do you want to say?
Your car.
Your car. And Casey?
That's good.
Survey says no. Oh, man, I wish we could all see these so we could say them, like they do on the show.
All right, go ahead. You say them.
Your turn now.
Number 5, underwear. Number 4, the bathroom.
That's stupid.
Clean the bathroom.
Yeah.
Number 3, your ass. And number 2, your balls.
I was going to go genitals.
Genitals would have been good. All right, so who's got the sounder? Jordan? Are you up or is it Connor?
Kelsey.
All right, Connor's got it, and we have Lane who's got the sounder over here, right?
Me or you? I just went. Yeah.
All right, whatever. What food do human testicles most resemble? 15263 WMMR. If you know the answer to that, call now. What law firm represented a lot of the witches in the Salem witch trials? 215-263 WMMR. As you call, we'll do this.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by Armor Metals and Recycling. Get paid for your old computers, monitors, printers, and more at Armor Metals and Recycling. Armor Metals is your e-cycling headquarters. Armor Metals is your most trusted recycling partner. Visit armormr.com for more details. What's going on, Steve?
Well, Cardi B posted a video of a yacht sinking off the beach she was vacationing on over the weekend. Cardi says a friend pointed out the sinking vessel just seconds after she finished her first bazooka lesson. So, just a coincidence there. Johnny Depp gave fans a surprise appearing at his pal Jeff Beck's concert on Sunday night in England. Depp told the audience that he, quote, came back to be Beck with Beck.
Oh, no.
We all know Ross Matthews, the intern, who is now judging RuPaul's Drag Race. He called out an online troll for saying he puts on a, quote, gay voice when he speaks. Matthew says his voice is 100% real, and if the truth be told, it's actually the real way Vin Diesel speaks.
Oh, man. I don't know where Casey keeps the clips.
Between Vin Diesel and the Tarzan, I'm happy.
That's a winner all the way around. Casey's out today, so you'll hear things that are a little out of the ordinary. Yes, Kathy.
I love that.
Wait, so Steve mentioned Johnny Depp,
Vin Diesel.
The girl that we follow, Preston, that does the Kardashian. Did you see she's doing Amber Heard and Johnny Depp now?
I was just watching the beginning of one of the clips. I didn't watch the whole thing, but yeah, funny stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so lesson question time. We're going to try and find out the answer to this. What law firm represented a lot of witches in the Salem witch trials? 215-263 WMMR is the number, and I will go to Drew and check with him first. Hey, Drew, good morning.
You guys rock.
We love you, man. All right, what's the name of that law firm that represented the witches in the Salem witch trials?
Jebediah.
That's it, my man. Hang on. Drew, sir, just got a pair of tickets as MMR Rocks Coldplay. And it is Music of the Spheres World Tour, June 8th, Lincoln Financial Field. Some tickets to remain. Ticketmaster. And you can get complete details at WMMR.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
All right. Brought to you this morning by A.D. Moyer Lumber, trusted expert since 1939. Your professional source for decks, windows, doors, kitchens, millwork, and more. We'll start with this. The Wedding Band, featuring Metallica's Kirk Hammett and Robert Trujillo, played on Friday night at Napa, California's Margaret Mondavi Theater. The gig was part of the Bottle Rock After Dark performances that are taking place in conjunction with this year's Metallica's co-headlining edition of the Bottle Rock Napa Valley Music Festival, which was held last weekend.
Isn't that after the Catalina wine mixer?
It is.
Yeah.
The effing Catalina wine mixer. By the way, the band, the wedding band, is rounded out by Mark Osageda of Death Angel, John Theodore from Mars Volta and Queens of the Stone Age, along with Bad Wolves and God Forbids, and that's Doc Coyle from God Forbid.
All favorites of mine.
The two-set 19-song show included covers of classics by Motorhead, Black Sabbath, The Ramones, The Clash, The Misfits, Black Flag, Rick Derringer, and even Robert Palmer and Kool and the Gang. Green Day's Billy Joe Armstrong's opened up about the emotion that he felt on the band's first night of the Hella Mega Tour with Fall Out Boy and Weezer. On an interview, he said the crowd looked like this giant flock of birds freaking out, he said, of their first tour date. Coming off stage afterwards, no one could believe what was happening with this shared experience for all of us, and it was like that every single night. People were just grateful to be alive, to be around people again. It was awesome. And we wanted to make it a special tour back in 2019, but it ended up happening. But when it ended up happening, it was an unbelievable experience.
It was unbelievable.
He said, we sound checked the day before, and I was so overwhelmed by the size of the place. It was like the first time I'd ever played a stadium in my life. Everyone, the crew, every single person was completely overwhelmed because no one knew how this was going to go down. I was freaking out. Everyone was. And we didn't know what to think. The whole country had been through the effing ringer, and here we are starting in effing Texas, he said. So must have felt good. Set for release on July 1st is Elvis Costello's reunion set with pre-fame bandmate Alan Mays. Titled The Resurrection of Rust. Back in the early 1970s, the pair was part of a fledgling pub rock ensemble named Rusty that split before ever earning the big bucks or heading into the studio. The two old friends have now teamed up to produce what Costello calls the record that we would have cut when we were 18 if anyone had let us. I think
pretty
it's
cool.
Really awesome that he's doing that.
Dude, does this mean we might see an Image album in the works?
Maybe down the road. We'll have to see if the gang wants to get back together. Costello, by the way, who was still known then as D.P. McManus, explained in the album's announcement, the EP contains new renditions of songs from our 1972 club repertoire, our duets on two Nick Lowe tunes from 1972, to Surrender to the Rhythm and Don't Lose Your Grip on Love, and closes with an arrangement incorporating Neil Young's Everybody Knows This Is Nowhere and Dance, 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 which marks my recording debut on the electric violin. And then finally, I'd mentioned this in entertainment news earlier, but just 2 days after lawyers delivered closing arguments in Johnny Depp's $50 million defamation trial against ex-wife Amber Heard, the actor made a surprise appearance at a Jeff Beck concert in England. In fact, he did 2 nights in a row. Depp joined Beck on stage Sunday to perform their 2020 rendition of John Lennon's Isolation, together with Depp and Beck. Also, they performed covers of Marvin Gaye's What's Going On and Jimi Hendrix's The Little Wing. Beck lists Depp as his unexpected co-conspirator on his website. The musician who also writes that the pair have been working on music together for a while now.
Who was in the that band with it was Johnny Depp and it was
The Expensive Winos?
Right, that's it.
Was that Joe Perry and Keith Richards?
I think so. Yeah.
Wasn't there also like the something Hollywood Vampires or something? Was he in those too?
I think I'm confusing the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was it was a mishmash. I want to say, Joe Perry was in it. I don't know about Keith Richards.
Okay, I'm getting them wrong.
Here we go. Alice Cooper, Johnny Depp, and Joe Perry.
Yeah,
there we go.
That's the
Okay.
Hollywood Vampires, not the Expensive Winos.
But he has he had a tattoo that said that now says why
That's
now.
it. That's what I was
a
thinking.
refurb of Winona.
You untangled the thread in my
I
brain.
did. Absolutely. I'm basically Alex Haley to your roots.
So the jury in the defamation trial will resume deliberations today following the Memorial Day holiday. So we'll see where that goes tomorrow. All right, that's it. It's the entertainment report.
That's
that I
all
have
you
for
need.
Yep, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a moment. When we return, we will get a winner for Tat Tuesday. We'll wrap it up. Ray Koob is in for Pierre Robert today. So you get a nice treat with the man. So we'll come back in a second, get to all that. Make sure you stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
What food do human testicles most resemble?
How about eggs?
Eggs. And survey says yes!
Right.
Number 3. We also would have accepted deviled eggs. That's on our
Someone's
list,
got
too.
some very smooth balls.
Back over to the defense. What food do human testicles most resemble?
Well, no.
Jordan's thinking about it. Yeah, they get a chance to answer.
Beets.
Beets?
What?
Whoa. Wait. Dude, how big are your balls?
Beets?
I mean, you are.
And are they red?
He might be right.
Survey says no. Sorry about
When
that.
I get shy, my balls turn red.
All right, let's go back over to the offense and find out what are you guys thinking. Lane, this is your chance to answer. What food do human testicles most resemble?
Plums.
Plums. That is a good answer. Let's see what the survey says. No. Incorrect.
I think plums is a perfect
with plum. You know what?
correlation.
That's technically.
What?
No.
No. All right. No. All right. Then let's go back to.
It's like that. It's like that. Huh?
To Jason. Yeah.
Getting hosed.
What food do human testicles most resemble?
I'm guessing that was a fruit that we were. I'm gonna go grapes.
Grapes. And the survey says no. Incorrect. All right, back over to the defense. Guys, what do you think human testicles, or not human, human testicles.
Hey, he's using his phone.
My phone was, Google was no help.
Think about the shape and size and what food might resemble that.
What are they?
Like a sausage ball?
A sausage
A meatball.
A meatball. He says survey.
He said sausage ball. I don't think this is acceptable.
Survey says yes, and the defense steals it.
Wow. Sausage ball.
The other answers were number 5, Rocky Mountain oysters, which are testicles.
Yeah. So that's not
accurate.
But it's a food. It's a food. And number 4, and this is why I almost accepted plums, prunes, which are dried plums,
I think
right?
they are, yeah.
Yeah, so that should
is a
count.
plum.
Well, the judges said no.
Okay.
No, the one judge said no, and he should change his answer right now because he's wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong, son.
Number 1 food that human testicles resemble, walnuts.
Actually, that's good too, yeah.
All right, Lane and
Final
Connor.
one. This is where it all comes down.
All right, here we go. Which Philadelphia Eagle is most likely to sleep with a teddy bear? Oh, okay. Lane jumped in right away. Who do you say?
Say Jason Kelsey.
Survey says no.
Is according to the people that we surveyed. Let's go over to the defense. What do you guys think? Which Eagle is most likely to sleep with a teddy bear?
Say John Dornbos.
Dornbos. Survey says number 5 on the list. That is absolutely correct. All right. Who do you think are the people that we surveyed said?
Well, I'm going to say Brandon Graham because his nickname is Teddy Bear sometimes. I don't know if people know that. But
All right, that's
Survey says no. Correct. One strike.
We'll say Tim Tebow.
Survey says
great answer.
Number 1 answer, Tim Tebow. Yes, that is correct.
Great answer.
Okay. There's still 3 up there.
We'll say Sanchez.
Survey says that's the number 2 answer. Correct,
I just
Connor.
got to think about popular guys on the team.
All this is coming there.
I'll say myself.
All right, he says Connor Barwin, and survey said incorrect.
Man.
All right, Jason and Lane, what Eagle is most likely to sleep with a teddy bear?
You can steal it here.
I feel like we just got to pick the most popular. Most popular. Sam Bradford. Yeah.
Bradford, survey says no. That means the defense wins.
This is a highly contested result.
We might have to escort him out.
Over plums and prunes.
The other answers were DeMarco Murray and Riley Cooper. Well, thanks for playing the game, guys. We appreciate it.
Thanks for
Jason,
having us.
Connor, Lane, and Jordan, who are here this morning. Lindsay, we haven't talked about her in a while.
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan is on the verge of turning 30.
30. 30, right?
Yep. Can you imagine waking up, no makeup, it's kind of actually smeared makeup, hair all kind of crazy. Ha!
Where are my cigarettes?
But she's reflecting back on her past mistakes as well as looking ahead to the future. She discusses her ambitions and failures in a new interview with Vanity Fair. Now, she says of her...
Life is like a chicken finger. Chicken in the center, surrounded by finger.
Life is like that?
Yeah, exactly.
How is life like that?
Exactly like
it. She says...
Point taken.
Of her checkered past, I wouldn't call things regrets per se. I can't turn back time, but if I could, I would have listened more to my mother and gone back home to New York earlier in life and chosen my friends more wisely.
Regrets? I've had a few, but still too few to mention.
Lindsay also, but you did it your way.
I did it my way.
Yeah.
To me, life, if I may, was like a huge chicken finger.
All right, Lindsay also looks ahead to her
with multiple dipping sauces.
To her milestone birthday on July 2nd, saying, age is only a number, right?
No.
I have learned a lot over time. I'm in a wonderful place in life and look forward to the near and far future and projects that I'm working on.
Something's going on with Lindsay's face these days. It looks as if she's perpetually smelling poop.
That's the way I feel. I'm sorry to go off on a tangent, but about Cersei Lannister on Game of Thrones. Her nostrils are always kind of flared, and the corners of her lips are kind of up a little bit, like
who defecate? Someone. Everyone, check your trousers.
Eyes open wide, nostrils flared. All right. Anyhow,
the distinct odor of fecal matter.
She said that I'm grateful that I have a voice, which I can now feel comfortable using as a platform to let people know that we all have our ups and downs in life.
Check your trousers.
And we can all come up from the downs if we get in touch with our inner self and spiritual side.
Hey, I'm happy if she's turned it around. She's got that Russian boyfriend, right? The multimillionaire boyfriend?
Yeah, Igor Tarabazov. That's what?
Stravinsky.
This is my woman.
She
loves chicken fingers.
She also says of her future plans of making more films, writing my books, starting my charity, working with children a lot, maybe having some of my own soon after I get some movies done first. She seems to be course corrected and getting her life together. I don't know what that means as far as her career goes, though.
I don't think it's going to be where it could have been, but maybe that's the best thing for her. Maybe getting back into that lifestyle would be detrimental.
Yeah. She could pull a Robert Downey Jr.
She could play Iron Man.
I don't know if she could play Iron Man, but
I can't take the chicken fingers to the shoulder.
We got it. There's an 800-pound gorilla in the room. How do I get chicken fingers through this thing?
Tell Jarvis to open the hatch, and it will. And
You're a disaster.
The face mask will actually.
Jarvis closes it and I sells chicken fingers.
Will open, and then you can eat your chicken fingers.
There's a Popeyes on Route 1.
Maybe a little underdone. Let me kick him up a little bit. Just like I like him.
Heating them up.
Let me get that for you. They're a little cold. Just like I like him.
No, what I'm saying is she might be able to turn her acting career around. She's not as talented as Robert. Even when Robert Downey Jr. was younger, even in those like Weird Science and Back to School, stuff like that, you could tell he had acting chops. So.
It's hard for her though because she really the party lifestyle left a mark on her appearance, and it's harder for women in general. And then when they mess up their appearance like she has over the last 10 years or so, it's going to be an interesting thing to see where she goes next.
Nick, I clearly remember we did it. We did a Dirty Old Man screening of Mean Girls.
Yep.
Well, that's what we called it. We had us, a whole bunch of guys.
We called it the Dirty Old Man Matinee. And we went to a matinee showing of we took a bunch of guys to a matinee showing of
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls when she turned 18. Oh my God.
How pathetic.
Hey, Lindsay, can you warm up this burrito for me here?
No problem. Stand back. Jarvis, hit it.
Hikaru Sulu.
Yes.
Is revealed to be gay in the upcoming Star Trek Beyond movie. Sulu never had any romantic partners on the original series, but it was eventually revealed that he did have a daughter who was a character in the 1994 School's Out and all that good stuff. Ray Koob has arrived.
Hey.
He is in for Pierre Robert this morning. Hey,
How you guys doing?
Good. And you, man?
Re-entry okay? I heard a little bit of you stubbed your toe a little early this morning with Casey out. And,
Yes.
But things sounded great all the way in.
We have the great Marissa Magnata over here to fill some very big shoes.
The multi-talented.
And
yes.
smelly shoes. He's got pretty stinky
I won't talk
feet.
about the other things, but yeah.
Did you have a good holiday weekend?
Yeah, how about everybody good?
Yeah, all good.
I was in here a lot, playing lots of blocks, and that was kind of fun because people were really into it. I love it when people call in with like really cool, deep requests and challenge us a little bit. There was a lot of that going on this weekend, so it was kind of fun. And made most of the time the time I had this weekend.
Yeah,
and
rifling through desk drawers
just today. Yeah, what's that?
Rifling through desk drawers, things like that.
Yes, things like that. Yeah. See what's really in the office
when you're alone on the weekend.
The deep dirt dig. Yeah.
He's like, you guys have a lot in your office.
Actually, no. I found Steve's camera over in the sales area. It's gone, buddy.
I
pulled that out.
Is Pancake in today?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out
I
together.
stole a Sharpie from his desk this morning. I just want to go on record and say that now. I needed
Son
a
of a
Sharpie.
bitch.
I guess I took the one off of my lanyard while we were at Keenan's because I always keep one. Is the best place to keep it. Is one of the best things about wearing a lanyard is you have a Sharpie at the ready in case you need to make notes and do stuff like that. So I couldn't find one, and I went to the first desk I saw, and I went into I'm sorry.
I feel like it's not going to go well for you. A Pancake's not very forgiving on those things.
No. Really?
Yeah, you're going to have to return it, or else he won't talk to you like ever again.
All right, I'll give it back to him.
He's very much, he believes in the vendetta.
I still need a new one, though. I guess so I talked to Tony about that. Tony Perone.
Please email her.
You have to email her.
Yes,
Don't talk to
for
her.
office supplies. You have to email now.
I was desperately looking for a paper clip, and I walked down, and it was not the time to walk down there.
Did she dress you down in front of the office?
No, but she said, I will drop some off when I have a moment.
And you just needed a paper clip?
I needed a paper clip. And there's so many people around here, but I
you
didn't.
little turd.
Yeah.
No, a lot of people need a lot of stuff. We got it.
All right. Well, anyhow.
But you're the paperclip queen.
No, but I did find somebody in our sales department to help me out.
And
if I see Pancake, I'll soften him the blow. For
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Sharpie blow.
All right, besides that, we need to get the letter of the day. You ready for that?
I am.
Here we
Oddly
go.
enough.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter
J.
As in?
Don't want to say.
Oh, well, no. You can make up a different word.
Well, it's John, of course. It's John.
There you
It
go.
won't be John.
We just need
Somebody's writing it on their hand right now. It's
Right.
John this week.
We need to do a as in thing just so people hear it clearly. All right,
Jay.
so as in John, we have a summer concert triple play at Citizens Bank Park. A pair of tickets for each of these shows: Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett, June 25th. Dead and Company, July 10th, and Red Hot Chili Peppers on September 3rd. Tickets on sale now for each of those via Ticketmaster. You can go to WMMR to get the complete details. WMMR.com, that is. Real quick, I need to award our Tattoosday winner. And don't worry about the song, Marissa. Our winner is Sean McGrody, who is from Feasterville. And we're going to give Sean a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and
Yay for
Piercing.
Sean McGrody.
And Tattoosday on President Chief Show is presented, of course, by Floating World Tattoo and Piercing, 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. For artwork samples, you can visit floatingworldtattoos.com or check them out on Instagram at Floating World Tattoos. So you've got the midday hours. What are you going to do with them?
Well, I'm going to do the coffee break, and we'll figure it out from there. I've got Double Shot Tuesday and the workforce blocks, and that should keep me busy for a while.
Yeah, it's so good that it's Tuesday. I love that fact that we are beginning.
It's already Tuesday,
yes.
folks. Look forward to that.
Call Ray Koob. Help him out today, all right? Let's see. I want to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by Acme, from city to shore. Acme has everything you need to prep for the summer season. Acme Fresh Foods, local flavors. Also brought to you by Dunkin', the official coffee of the Preston and Steve Show, and Visit Philly. Need to get away? Your hometown adventures begin at visitphilly.com. We'll figure out what's up with tomorrow. Case is out, so we'll do our best to make do, but I'm sure we'll have a good time in that. That's it. We're done. Rage on and have a great day, and we will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.